Alright. Welcome back. Last session, you guys descended into what is either the deepest bowels of Shade Barrow or somewhere else that is far, far from Shade Barrow. Either way, you have found yourself in this ruined palace, a place of marble and gilded gold and all of these pristine things. But here in the sort of greenish red miasma that surrounds it for seemingly infinity, that place of goodness is changed. Its walls are built upon the mortar of bone. The heights of the various roofs are spired with very dark, gothic, monstrous architecture. The place is ruined with great crevices of almost like an earthquake had come through in multiple places. The place is ruined and rubbled, and amongst it all, you have begun to explore. That exploration has led you to a couple of strange things. All of the beasts in the stables, horses and griffins, and maybe even a Dracolich, are skeletal, undead, long since eroded of all flesh. Wandering about here and there are skeletons, creatures with sharp teeth and don't seem to be able to die. You have learned that these are simply blood-starved vampires, no longer able to form coherent words in the presence of all of your bloody bodies, your fleshiness. They grow into frenzy. But all is not lost down here, for amongst them is an angel. A four-winged, sort of teal blue-skinned giant of an angel dwells amongst them. He knows not his name, he knows not much of his past, but he knows that he is father to these children, to these who were once probably great villains, but now in his great long time down here, as he described, what he's described sounds like the Calamity. Being a warrior of the Calamity, imprisoned here, the circumstances long forgotten, is watched over for these vampires and hopes for their redemption. Sir Cedric, in a very a meaningful, blunt conversation with the angel privately, learned what was later described to everybody else. These things, and the fact that he is the guardian, custodian, and prisoner of this place, for he alone has access to the vestige of divergence who seek, that he does indeed seek it, and that he wishes to grant it to someone, for it is the key of getting out of here. But the vestige is one that once belonged to Tharizdun, the god of entropy and madness, but was later transformed by the faith of Ayun to become a vestige that accesses indeed the dark powers, but also accesses the power of knowledge that Ayun provides, allowing those who bear it a backdoor and a foresight beyond just one type of deity. You may see the Betrayer's plan, you may see what the Prime Deity's plan, and you may have to pay prices for the knowledge. And so he intends to seek out one worthy of this weapon, this vestige, one who can pay these tolls, and pay these tolls wisely, and gain knowledge and know when is too much and when is not enough. And so he intends to test you all, to perform trials. Ember very pointedly pointed his finger at Yvain and said, her, she's the one. And the angel certainly has his eyes on Yvain. But nonetheless seems interested in having an eye on all of you. Who knows? And by Sir Cedric's conversation seems to have built some trust between him and the angel, especially because he's newer to the group, and says he may lean on him for his unclouded eyes that are, for the rest of the group, maybe there's some fellowship and loyalty behind it all that might be skewing perspectives of their fellow allies. He has described that this is a demi-plane of Orcus, that he has been captured there, and no matter how far, how high, how fast he flies, no matter what he does not seem able to escape. That this is indeed a prison. The vestige is a way out. One he intends to grant, requires all of you, requires to be given to the best of you, at least for that vestige. And it does seem that he is interested in, helping out his kids, helping out his vampire children, seeing if they can be redeemed, and possibly bringing them back to the world to do good. So, let us come into that point. I believe you guys were all left at the table after this angel rose and left, took his children with you, or with him, so as nobody felt too weird about, them wanting to drink your blood. But they do seem to be holding true to the orders of their father. They have since abstained from attempting on you again, but with great difficulty, and that is undeniable. So, why don't we pick up there, just in case there's any refreshers or conversation we want to have. And you guys have been traveling at this late hour, and tiredness is probably coming upon you. And sleep might be in your near future. But for the time being, Aurora Concordant, you sit around the dining table. Very old, nice wine provided by the angel, and dinner provided by Ember. Alistair will kick it off and say, "Not what I expected, to say the least."
Yeah, honestly, not at all what I was expecting. Ember, thank you for that.
Oh, you're entirely welcome. Anytime. I'm happy to be of help.
I should remind you my memory is quite long.
Well, good deeds and punishment.
Well, where do we begin? A lot to talk about, I think. If
Yeah.
anything, or maybe we all just want to get some fucking sleep.
I mean, maybe fucking sleep is the right thing. Does anybody else want it? Oh, good.
Oh,
No show
God,
of
no.
hands. Well, I don't either, but if it's...
Out of those here,
You're not wrong.
it aligns best. Out of those here, the only one with a connection, the only one who has had very personal contact with something powerful and other and have cast it aside.
All right. In all honesty, that there was a whole sort of confluence of things, including, it being a holy day in a holy city and the whole rite performed by a high priestess. I didn't just, give it the old heave-ho out of my soul. Yeah. Still. The Jewel of Three Prayers, which is what I've been hunting down, seems like such a lovely vestige.
What form does this vestige take again? Do we know?
I don't recall.
So it could be a teaspoon for all we know.
Alistair says, "Oh yes, it's probably a fucking teaspoon."
Arstine's teaspoon of entropy. Okay, but I actually kind of like it.
I think Tharizdun is probably like a series of teeth or a tentacle or some shit.
No tentacles.
But
Please no.
it's been fixed by IU, so it's probably like a book.
I like books. Oh God, it's probably going to talk to me. Ugh, I hate it when they do that.
And no one is eager to wield this thing, whatever it be.
Only an idiot or a madman would want to wield such a thing.
How long did you keep a hold of that scroll? You
Once?
are exactly the kind of idiot and madman that we need in charge.
I mean, they were holding the city of Emon hostage. They were literally hundreds of thousands of individuals who. But yeah,
Exactly.
I, I apparently am that madman.
Is there any here who would refuse if called on, who will absolutely not take it?
I am spoken for by someone whose name we are not using at this time.
Oh, I'm spoken for by many, not not by this horrible thing.
I don't know if I would have put it like that.
Like I don't. I'm not aligning myself with it.
I I feel obligated to share something that occurs to me in this particular moment. And that's the fact that all of our individual plans and thoughts and intentions amount to absolutely nothing to the fates or deities or something that have a much different perspective than our own. And to one degree or another, those are the entities that are going to facilitate those items that cross our paths. We may have an idea that a trident hanging out at the bottom of the sea and the slimy tentacle of a kraken is what, but those are that's the way that I think this, by and large, this is going to end up, is that those items meant to cross our path will. And being flexible to the opportunities as they present themselves would serve us all well. It would serve Exandria well.
Yeah. At the end of the day, those are the stakes. I mean, where it's great the calamity went the way it did the first time. I don't think we want to lose the rematch.
Oh, I'm pretty certain that we don't. Because as much as was lost, I would hate to think of the pit of darkness that would have resulted if it had been otherwise concluded.
What if that's the point of the vestiges? Like you said, we don't get to choose which ones come to us. They come to us. They come to us, or we're sent to them. If he's testing us, what if the point is they're not supposed to go to people that want them?
Oh,
It's contrary. I mean, so it would fit, like it'd be perfect, but okay, you can only have it if you don't want it. Like,
Not even
fuck me.
in the amorphous idea of the gods wouldn't send us after these vestiges if we were after them solely because of what they could do for us.
I I would tend to think, and as much as I revile the statement, I think that there are entities, the various prime deities, perhaps some of the others, who know us potentially better than we know ourselves. So, and ultimately, one of the underlying things behind the Great Gate, if my understanding is correct, is it was designed to provide opportunity for mortal will, for us to make choices and have our fate. And to avoid some of the awfulness that took place during the calamity. Once some of that power was shuttered aside, the space to grow was created. The space for our choices and decisions were created. The space for change was created. But that's just this not exactly humble man's opinion.
Well, Alistair will say, well, from the opinion of another not terribly humble man, I mean, it doesn't take much to have faith in the prime deities, if you look at it from that perspective. I mean, they, sacrifice their power on the material plane to get rid of their betrayer cousins and essentially gift us the entire material realm. If we want to have faith, great. If we don't, also great. That's kind of what they said. So, hard not for me to have faith in someone who makes that kind of sacrifice. Especially when, allegedly, their strength actually comes from worship.
Drysrinn and Zarvog have been awfully quiet.
I don't know. I don't know how this all goes. I don't know if this is the same thing or not. I know that when facing one of these powerful artifacts at a time, that the crown, for instance, wasn't necessarily something that I wanted to hold on to. It wasn't a commitment that I wanted to make. But we had to do what we had to do in order to deal with it. So in that way, I'm a little. I have a bit of a tendency to side with Kiro or Ember. I I don't know. I don't understand any of this. And I don't have an opinion. There's personal sacrifice to make, but we've already sort of committed to making personal sacrifice. We're traipsing around the globe. We're diving underwater. We're putting our lives in mortal peril at this point. If we're not in, then what are we? Because we're not out. Uh, so um, I kind of side with the notion that it might not be about what we want. It might be about what we need to do.
Alistair will say, here, here. This isn't about us. It's about Exandria.
What do we know about what this thing is supposed to do? Its powers, I mean.
Also, gotta change it up. Beverly said, I think he said, that it's a sort of like divining kind of thing where it lets you kind of like understand the secrets of the universe kind of thing. You have sometimes have to pay a toll for the foresight, but it's a powerful divination relic, I guess.
Hey, listen, if you're asking me whether or not I'm willing to pay a toll for power, I feel like we've answered that question already, and I'll do it again if I have to. It was my understanding that was not the group's intention.
I don't think this is a good match for you, Zar. Respectfully.
I don't disagree.
I'll say Perrin Brill, sort of, she'll say, well, it doesn't really matter, it seems, what we want. The angel's gonna test us. And you'll decide, unless we decide, of course, to do something else down the line. But at the end of the day, if you all don't want it, why not give it to the director of the Bloodhunter Order? We're masters of paying the price to fight evil with. And Alistair kind of rolls his eyes and waves his hand. He goes, Perrin, I'm not the director of the Bloodhunter Order because I'm the best Bloodhunter. I'm the director of the Bloodhunter Order because I'm fucking good at logistics. I'm really good at organizing the whole shit. I'm not better than Jordan. Like, I'm not the best Bloodhunter. I'm fairly fucking young. For all I could be the shittiest one in all of us.
Okay.
Will.
Oh no, I
relic.
don't at all.
Yeah. But be careful. I already have someone for self-deprecation. Don't need to do it myself anymore.
I hate for you to have to shoulder that burden all on your own.
Oh yes, you're a saint, Ember.
I would submit that anyone who has undertaken and succeeded being in charge of anything is the wrong choice for this.
Succeeded in being anything?
In being in charge of anything.
Well, that seemed very directed, considering I'm the only one who has succeeded in being victorious and leading anybody.
I don't know that that's true.
Wow. Roast Alistair Day, huh?
No. I can perhaps articulate the point a little more in a way that's easier to digest. Being the leader of an order, being the leader of anything, does suggest a certain amount of personal ambition. A certain amount of personal ambition, then, when you're considering making deals with demon lords, could potentially raise conflicts of interest. I'm not just Ashari, I'm Earth Ashari. We were the first. We've stood the longest. We've stood since the beginning, since before the calamity. We've always protected Exandria. That is our only ambition.
Well, you're not very Ashari, though, are you? I mean,
Why not?
you. I've never seen you even do anything Earth magic based.
Oh, it's crazy because actually I'm far better with like water and air than I am with earth. And I'm part Earth Genasi. It's crazy, I know. And yet, plants grow because I want them to. Stars fall when I ask them. So, like, something.
What does that have to do with anything? I mean, when I will it, flesh stitches together.
Yeah, it's cool, right? Being a druid is... Being a Shari is part of who I am. If
What's the
I have an
point you're trying to
inability at
make?
earth magic, it doesn't make me not a Shari. So,
Are we just talking about how awesome it is to be a Shari, or is there some reason why being an Ashari has anything to do with this?
I don't have any particular ambition other than protecting Exandria, other than wanting my home to be safe.
Oh, nonsense. You're a scholar. Scholars are ambitious as anybody. The ambition for knowledge, to find something out, to learn something. And weren't we just talking about how you got freed from possession? Sounds like ambition to me.
I don't know if that's ambition as it was luck and faith and divine providence. I don't know how much I had to do with that, to be honest with you.
Well, you can get into divine providence, but, you're talking to a cleric, so I don't know how well that'll hold up for you.
Alistair, if you want this burden, I will gladly give it to you, my friend. And with
Unfortunately, I don't think this is a task that's been put before Alistair and his company based on the divine vision that Finch shared with us, because it was rather pointedly and unfortunately leveraged against those of us who are part of the Concordant.
there's the cryptic parting words of the Graveseer. I mean, all right, to be fair, most everything the Graveseer says is cryptic. Do you take lessons? Is that like Raven Priest 101? You get like your holy symbol in your robes and you learn how to like be cryptic.
No,
Like-
it's Cleric 101, to be clear. It's not meant to be understood, the religion and the faith and all of that stuff. It's meant to be like poked at and guessed at best.
The Graveseer actually asked me a question. Well, she's like, have you noticed it's not something that most druids do? Handling celestial energy. And she's right, it's unusual. I'm sure there are others, obviously, in Lyrangorn. She said I was supposed to find out something about myself while I'm down here, so... She has been unerringly correct thus far. It's infuriating.
Yeah, perhaps whatever tests our host is going to put us to will illuminate whatever that hidden snippet is.
And I suppose these tests will consist of mathematics and general knowledge.
Sure, it's an IQ
You know,
test.
imagine.
As long as it's not an orienteering test, I think that would be a safe thing to avoid.
Probably who's the least greatest shithead here kind of test, I imagine.
Beverly.
Oh, Beverly's like, please. I'm no. Okay, come on. No. No. I'm a huge shithead. I follow you dumbasses around. Oh my god, I don't know why I said that. I'm so sorry. I just slipped out. I'm so sorry.
Someone who is definitely not in that race, Bev, you're not making a good case for yourself. I'm just saying. Like, objectively, you are the best one of us here. By a long shot. Country mile.
What? God, stop. Okay.
I don't know.
You got shitheads.
And
Cedric
that
is
personally.
It's quite upstanding. But yeah, Bev, in Finch's absence, you're the shining star.
I'm not even a knight. Cedric is a knight, and he's a knight by merit. I can't even use my paladin powers. I've got to use a, albeit very nice sword, a sword to make me even half as effective as the rest of you, and I'm still running as fast as I can and not even getting there by the time the battle's done.
Why can't you use your paladin powers?
I don't know. I think my faith's all jumbled up.
Oh yeah, that happens. I can't. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Oh, that sucks.
It's okay. I've got a cool sword now. I just gotta learn to run faster.
Well, if and when we get back to Amman, I will see about putting in an obstacle course and training thing so you can practice and get better.
Cool. Sweet. Awesome. I miss the training courses that Finch used to set up for me. It was more just Finch was the obstacle course, but that's okay. Still
Finch was an obstacle course.
Yeah.
Finch's whole thing is an obstacle course.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as much as we could go on and around the bush, I think I'm going to put myself in bed. So whatever trial our toast comes up with, I'm at least rested for.
Oh, we can sleep in beds. And have a bath in the morning. Oh yeah, let's get right to that. It takes very little to seduce Yvain. Warm bath,
Right.
soft bed, done.
Yeah, you guys all get up to go wander. Find yourselves to one of the many very fine rooms that have been made for you by the angel, who I'm just saying the angel. He's told you to call him whatever you want, but for now the angel, I will say. And as you exit, you find yourselves, surrounded once more by these vampires, and to be clear, they hold at bay, but there is no denying the creepy interest they have in you as you walk by, where they can't help but almost lean in and smell the air as you walk by, or kind of not hiss, but kind of audibly kind of make hungry sounds, essentially. It's not the most welcoming to behold, but as you walk by them, there's definitely that creepy weird. Diagon Alley, when Harry's come with us, sweetheart. We'll help you get back. And he's no, that's all right. It's a little like that, except they're not actively trying to like pull you down the alley. But you know, they're around, and there's that clear like they walk by and they like stare at you the entire time you walk by, and maybe like make themselves like for whatever reason, oh, I'm just standing here, don't worry about it, but stand very kind of awkwardly 15 feet away and just kind of watch what you're doing. Like there's clearly this like they allow themselves at least that in there, and their desperate hunger that you all represent. It is a little creepy. But nonetheless, once you find your way into your various rooms, that creepiness is kept behind the other side of the door. There are locks on the doors, and they are very big doors. So, you know, shouldn't be easy to knock down even if someone tried. And you guys find that there are nice big hot warm baths. Some of you enter into your rooms, and they're like pouring hot buckets of water in. You kind of come in as they're pouring, they kind of, you know, kind of like it's very much like a fucking coke addict. Like if you're standing in the middle of the room, they like kind of slowly walk over here, eyes glued to you, trying to look away, very twitchy, and then they kind of like run out the door at the last second. It's very much like you're surrounded by a bunch of addicts that are like maybe a week off of their last high. It's fucked. But you all get in your rooms, you mellow out into some warm baths. Some people are doubling up because there's only so many rooms and there's a lot of you. I think the Blood Hunters, Joran and Alistair will take a room. Perrin will have her own room somewhere because she's a lady. And Drysrinn and Kiro Beverly are hanging out. Zarvalg and Yvain are hanging out. And that should probably be enough for the rest of everybody to have their own room. There's just that one room that you guys were told not to go into. And there's a couple of other places around that you were told not to go to, but he said, like, if there is somewhere you're curious about, just ask and I'll probably let you inside. But yeah, it's time to sleep. You guys all find your way to your various beds. You're all on the same floor, if that matters. And what is going to happen to sleep? Scroll.
So,
yeah.
Cedric is not going to eat any of the food here. He is not going to use the bath. He's not even going to sleep in the bed. He gets his bedroll out. He's sleeping on the floor. He's gonna lock the door. He's gonna use his rope to tie up a little thing so if someone opens the door, it pulls his crowbar onto the floor to clank. He's gonna summon Henry and have Henry watch over him while he sleeps to wake him up if something happens. He doesn't trust this place at all.
Fair enough. Yeah, you do so. Well, Ember summoned the food, but you don't have to eat it. Just let you know. Yeah. So your stomach growls, that's for sure. But
well, I've got rations.
Okay, you're eating your own rations then. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Absolutely done. Not a hard thing to do about the door thing. I'm not going to make you roll for it. You probably just rest the bar on top of the doorknobs and then don't vicariously, essentially, or precariously, excuse me. Cool. So yeah, you guys all get baths, hang out. Kira, yeah, looked like you had a little.
I was gonna say, as soon as the doors like close and we're all in our rooms, Hero, in much the same fashion, is going to, if Phantom isn't already out, snap and have him sit on the ceiling and then she has like rope in her bag, but like tie it around the door handles and then turn around and look at Drysrinn and Bev and go, I'm not sleeping in that bed.
Well, why not?
I don't trust anything in here, and I trust our host even less.
Oh, I thought he seemed nice.
He does. That's concerning.
Oh man. She like looks at the bed. She looks at the bed. It's a very nice bed. She's like, oh.
You use bed. That means that there is more room for you on the bed. Use the bed if you want. For my comfort, I'm not sleeping on the bed.
Well, now it doesn't feel like a smart idea to sleep in the bed.
Well, somebody's got to use it. Well, you don't have to, but
Can we sleep on like? She'll look at like. We'll say you guys have.
This would be a perfect time for the song Freeze Frame.
A little holdover from the '80s campaign, Eric.
Yes.
Ryan had fun with that. He's I enjoy playing with him because he's just a fun player to play with. Uh, but I need to be honest that the I went to high school with that guy. Um, yeah, I went to high school. I know that guy. That guy he played, I know,
Uh,
and he
for
did it well.
for for good or ill, that archetype I'm certain has always existed. The flavor may have changed onto it a very small amount, but the error bar is pretty narrow, and they have always been.
My little group has always been and always will until the end.
See, I'm like y'all. Ember's going to sleep in his bed. He's going to tuck his ring under his pillow and disappear inside my ring, where I have a perfectly
Now,
good bed and always have.
I think
The
some of us
hero
have actually been pulled into nightmare beds before, haven't we? Did we do a whole thing where that everybody was sleeping in their bed was pulled into a nightmare? Or was that a different
That
campaign?
was Western. That was Western,
Uh,
sir.
yeah.
That was the yeah, oh yeah. So like Yvain's gonna sleep next to Zarvog wherever he is. Uh
hero just doesn't like being in a hole. Her track record's not exactly great, and then also the water genasi thing. Like being underground for any extended period of time just feels hinky to her on a deeply instinctual level. And then everything else that's gone on since, she's like, yeah, no,
Actually, you don't have that much track record. You don't have that much
correct.
memory.
Correct. And that is even worse because the last time she was in a hole, she woke up, not even woke up necessarily, but came to consciousness being clutched by I don't even know what, with no memories whatsoever. Her and Deep Dark Holes don't have a wonderful track. And she's paranoid.
I mean Yvain's half drow and from the mountains. She's eh, it's
It,
funny thing is
yeah,
that she probably wants to be the big spoon. But Zarvog's enough taller than her that I feel like she's just like a backpack, like a little rucksack. 'Cause it's probably not enough of her to really be a big spoon.
you get to be the
Uh,
cocaine spoon. That's perfectly okay.
that's the vestige. It's a cocaine spoon.
Hence the picture in the Zoom chat.
Great. Sorry, guys. This computer has been the biggest pain in my ass for the last 4 months. Anyway,
No worries.
yeah. So Beverly looks at like the couch and is like, can we not sleep at the couch, all the other couches either?
If you sleep wherever you want.
No,
I
but
just feel comfortable having sight line to the door, and I feel comfortable sitting up so that nothing can jump on me again.
oh, I can't sleep sitting up. That's asking too much. Um, okay. She looks at the bed. I'll sleep at the bed. I'll do it. I'll and then you guys will know if it's safe or not. If I'm still me tomorrow, you know?
You, quite frankly, you and Yvain, I think, are the only ones that I would trust with that.
Why me? What is all this trying to raise my self-esteem thing is going too far, okay?
Seth, say this in the nicest way possible, and I mean the best from it. Have you
Have I what?
have you met you?
No. I mean, maybe? I don't know what you mean by that. Like not like sec in the second hand? Fuck. What do you mean by that? Let me start there.
Never mind. What I meant was, out of everyone here, and I do know this because lost my memories not too long ago. Zarvog unnerves me. Yeah,
What?
it's 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 the Grim. That's what it is. It's the Grim and the 200-pound dog.
The 200-pound dog's really nice.
Once you get to meet him, but
Oh yeah.
appearance,
Oh well, yeah. When you first met Finn, I could see why you might be a little traumatized by that. He like jumped on top of you. Well, I think that's Sarvok's whole thing. He's supposed to make people nervous. I think he kind of likes it actually.
no, it works perfectly for him. Just seeing all of you for the first time as a group, Yvain was pink, and you are you. And Drysrinn managed to talk me down. So that was enough.
Oh. Oh, you like me best when we all met? You thought you liked me best out of everybody?
Yeah.
Wow. Cool. Thanks. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go check the bed for something.
Please do.
And
Don't 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 get in it if anything is hiding under it, but also please let nothing be hiding under it.
she'll she'll get on the bed. She'll take her boots off, she'll get on a bed and kind of do like almost like a bounce check. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She'll like look at the pillowcases and do the sheets and everything. She'll go, yeah, okay. Then she'll lay on the side of the bed and kind of look under the bed like every horror movie in the world. No, nothing down there. Okay, I think it's clear. She looks over her shoulder at her sword hilt. What do you think? That's fair. Okay. Um, so I'll just have this huge king size bed to myself.
Have fun. You want the bat?
You're not gonna have a bath either?
No. But I meant the bat, and she'll point to Phantom, who is just he's just chilling on the ceiling.
Oh, bat! I thought you said bath. Sorry. Yeah, I actually really think your bat's pretty cool. If he wants to hang out near the bed, I think that'd be cool.
He'll fly over. Is there like a bed frame? I'm assuming
Yeah,
there
it's
is.
got like a can. It's probably literally exactly like this little set piece I've got here. It's got like a canopy and like four poster, like a thick four poster and everything.
Oh,
You're not sharing your screen at all.
Ah, for damn you, computer!
Sorry.
It's my fault. I'm sorry. But I think it's probably exactly like this bed. It's got that like thick hardwood big bed. Yeah.
So then she'll, instead of having him perched on the ceiling, she'll have him perched kind of like on like one of the posters of the bed. Just hanging.
Just hanging out. And she like smiles. She goes, "Okay, I'll go test the bath too." She'll go over. She'll drag the whatever you call it, the full change thing over, and
Oh yeah.
she'll change up and
As
get
soon as
into.
Bev is out of earshot and behind the little separator thing, Hero's gonna lean over to Drysford and go, "Shifts?" For sure.
Did you say chips?
Shifts. Like, we're taking shifts. We're not on.
Oh, shifts. Got it. Got it. Sorry. Yeah, she'll get into the bath. She'll like look back at you guys like, here I go. She'll get in with her sword. And she'll dip her toe in. She'll go, ooh. Oh, like Bugs Bunny back it like into it. Yeah. She kind of feels around inside the bottom of the bath with the tip of her sword.
Haunted bath?
I don't think so. It smells nice. Okay.
Shakira will, she'll sit on the end of the bed, or like wherever she can like have direct line of sight to the door, and she probably will just either summon her trident or pull something out of her pocket and just start messing with it, because just waiting.
Yeah, sure. She has a bath. She survives the bath. She'll get into bed. Okay, good night.
Night, Bev.
And she'll go to bed. And, yeah, at least for now, everything seems alright. Okay, let's get to the, yeah, you guys take shifts. As best you can, because there's only 2 of you in this room, and or there's 3 of you, so you could have like a 3-person shift, and just there'll be 2 hours in there where you guys are vulnerable. But, you know, other than that. Okay, let's see. Excellent. So, here is what happens. All of you head to sleep. Head to sleep. I'm gonna surprise you here. There's gonna be crazy dreams in this place, believe it or not. Let's see. Dreams. Where's my dream thing? Sorry, guys. Got a lot of notes here. Okay. So, as you all sleep, you are all going to have similar dreams. I'll allow all of you to decide maybe which facet occurs to your character more specifically, because a different portion of it will be highlighted for all of you. You'll all experience everything, but maybe one of you will experience one of these 3 parts more than the other, or be more focused on it. Okay. The first of which that you experience as you sleep is an absolute like cyclone, like twister in the sea of blood, like a sea of blood, and all of that blood just in like a massive like twister, like going down a drain. And in this torrent there is like, it's not just blood, it's also just like, it is life. It is the essence of life is the blood. And within it, audible but also not, is like 1,000 wails, 1,000,000 screams. Some of these may be victims from where this blood has come from. So sounds of pain, sounds of, maybe even in there a little bit, sounds of ecstasy, sounds of torment. And that torment is sort of the bridge, because the pain isn't just, as you realize, victims. It is those who thirst for it. The blood, it makes you feel thirsty. It makes you feel hungry. It makes you feel like you have not tasted water or food or something else that you have needed for 1,000 years that you never got to. And you are desperately, frenziedly hungry for it. That is one of the three facets. The other is that skull bound in the cathedral. That in whatever dream you experience amidst that, wandering around this place, Shade Barrow, in the nightmares of the horror that you have seen, there is that skull in the background of it all, looking at you with empty eye sockets. No flesh, no blood upon this skull, just this thing in the background watching, ever present, waiting, watching, hoping. And as your attention is drawn to it, it seems to get bigger or closer. Here we are. The last of this facet, as these are all sort of brought together in a single one, is that the entire time you've had only a candle to light your way with, as you've been experiencing this. The skull has been in the dark, you've been like up to ankle, knee, however you want you decide, deep in this blood that fills you with the ravenous hunger. And all the while as the dream progresses, that candle is burning down towards your hand, where you can only hold the candle for so long. And the closer it gets to your hand, the more you begin to hear this hoarse, guttural laughter, like somebody laughing with what remains of their vocal cords. Just as you bear the light as long as you can. As long as you can. Until it burns your very fingers. I would like a wisdom saving throw from everybody in the group. I'll go around now for those successes and failures. Drysrinn, what'd you get?
You know, it's really natural, so that's cool. Unfortunately, it's just a 1.
Oh man. So
If it
hold
counts
on.
for anything, I add +7.
Got it. 66.
It would
Okay.
be an 8 if it wasn't a 9.
Understood. So that's a failure. Kiro? 4. That's a failure. Cedric, how'd you do?
15.
That is a failure. How'd you do, Ember?
19.
Very nice. You succeed. Zarvolk.
Like I think it was Drysrinn, I recently added a +7 to my wisdom saving throws, but I rolled a 4, so that's an 11.
That is a failure, I'm sorry to say. Yvain, how'd you do?
Natural 19 for 28.
Very nice. Those of you who are victorious in your success, which I believe is just Ember and Yvain. Yes, Cedric?
I'm going to use whatever the hell it is called on Mage Slayer to choose to pass.
How does that work?
Oh, they've got
If
like
you
a
fail,
legendary resistance.
Yeah, if you fail an Int, Wizard, or Charisma saving throw, you can choose to cause yourself to succeed instead once per rest.
Very cool. Okay, you succeed then by the will of your abilities. Very good. So those of you who have succeeded then, I believe Yvain, Ember, and Cedric, you experience all that. This has to be sure. And it is a crushing amount of psychic power that you are dealing with, between the hunger, between the dying of the flame, between the pervasive, otherworldly presence that laughs and draws closer. You three succeed, and your light grows brighter. Your candlelight. and it stops burning down to the wick, to the base of your fingers, and does not burn you. You begin to realize that your fire, your candle, is your will. It is your will to resist this psychic pressure. And as yours burns brightly, but does not burn the wick down, you do notice amongst in the firelight those who are struggling, those who are being crushed by the pressure of the psychic innate power of this place. You notice Drysrinn, Kiro, Zarvolk. You will notice, actually, Beverly failed as well. So you guys will notice these four who seem to have failed. Would either of the three of you wish to share the burden that they are suffering and possibly compromise your own will within this dream?
Who were the ones who failed again?
Drysrinn, Kiro, Zarvolk, and Beverly.
I will share the burden with Kiro.
Share the burden with Kiro. Okay, so what typically happens, or what was going to happen in this challenge is that, well, I can't really say that actually. I need to know what everybody else is doing first, because that might meta it out. So, understood. You're going to help out Kiro, Cedric. Very nice. Ember, is there anyone you would like to help, or are you going to hold your own flame over here?
I'll help Drysrinn.
Okay, help Drysrinn. Very nice. Yvain?
Yes, she's getting Zarvolk out of there.
Okay. I will say the three of you, amongst this, as you walk over with your candle to the person of your choosing, you will notice that amongst that firelight, as Beverly is being overwhelmed by this, you will notice that appearing from the dark to her is Camellia, with her very bright flame. And she will sort of provide some of the fire off of her wick for Beverly. And Beverly's burns bright enough that she resists the psychic presence. Now, here's what happens. Basically, you will take a -5 to the save you made, and you'll give that 5 to the person of your choosing, to their saving throw. It may compromise you, but it may not. For Yvain, I'm sure that won't be a problem, as there was a surplus of good score there. For you, Cedric, because you failed but used a feature to succeed, I would say that's probably you passing along your success to them in that case, if that makes sense. Do you choose to do so? Provide your own mage slaying, that thing that gave you a success, but you wish to use that protection for an ally or for yourself instead?
I'll pass it along.
Okay. Excellent. So Ember with a -5, what did you get at the end of the day?
That'd be a 14.
14. So you, unfortunately, Ember, in your selflessness. Oh yeah.
But I am also going to call on Favored by the Gods.
Okay. Beautiful.
And I will add 6 to my 14 for a dirty 20.
Excellent. In that case, both success, or you will still succeed, Ember. And Yvain, you had like a 20 bajillion, so you're good. So, excellent. Yeah, so,
Drysrinn. Sorry,
go ahead.
I keep interrupting you, but I'll after I lose my success, I'll use Indomitable to reroll it with a +11.
Okay, go for it.
That's a 31?
Yeah, probably do. Yeah. So remember, you guys have succeeded. You're gonna get a long rest, right? But these features that you utilized to succeed in your dreams, those will not recover. Those will be spent the next day. Obviously. So I'm gonna go around here. Drysrinn, Kiro, Zarvolk, what is your new totals with a +5 added to what you originally did? Is that a success?
I got a 16.
it'll still be a failure, I'm sorry to say, Zarbo, DC 17. What about you, Drysrinn?
Does the nat 1 still count as a nat 1, or do
Not
I
in
get to
saving
add my
throws.
+7?
Yeah, you get to add all your bonuses.
So
Yeah.
8. Just a 12?
A 12 will still be a failure, I'm sorry to say. Yes, you may.
Never mind.
Okay,
Mine is
Kira
okay.
will just
Wait, no, I can't. Sorry.
Okay, what's going on?
Can I give Zarv a full from the Astromancy archive?
You're in a dream. You can't use your items.
Okay,
That's what I'm
just wanted
supposed
to
to
make
say.
All right.
Those like innate skills, like I don't have a problem with. Like favored by the gods, innate mage slaying, all of that. That's fine. But items are like you're in a dream. You can't use your items. So Kira will succeed. Zarbolg and Drysrinn, though your allies, and you do see them come to you in the dark, and they do basically like light your candle with their bright light. It's not quite enough. So Drysrinn and Zarbolg, you guys are going to take 23 psychic damage, and you will not succeed in your long rest. You wake up just like, holy crap, by the whole experience. And more than this, we're gonna roll in the madness chart. I love the madness chart. It's my favorite chart.
Drystrinn's already been insane once. Let's do this.
Let's do it again. Both of you roll D100. Yeah, this is a bad place. Mortals aren't meant to be here at the end of the day. Luckily, you got a lot of clerics with you, which is great news. Okay, what'd you guys get? D100s.
55.
55. Okay, Zarbolg. Zarbolg.
Oh, yeah.
When you wake up, I want you to pick a lucky charm. Whether it's something from your own person, your own items, or something around the room. Just random. Like let's not attach anything to it too intensely. Like the first thing he sees when he wakes up. What's his lucky charm?
Oh, hang on.
It's pretty handheld, right?
Yeah, grappling hook.
Hell yeah. You wake up, you look at your grappling hook, you realize you don't use it enough, and maybe that's why things have been so crappy for you your whole life. And you decide that this is what has been missing your entire life. You are now attached to this lucky charm. It could have been a person too, but that's actually a good point. Would you want that to be Yvain or the grappling hook? What's your lucky charm?
Both sound fun.
Yeah,
but just out of pure randomness and not to metagame, let's go with the grappling hook.
All right. You will have disadvantage on all attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws if you are more than 30 feet away from your grappling hook.
Okay.
Or you can't see it, so you can't like have it in your bag, right? You got to have your lucky charm with you.
I got to have it out. All right.
Yeah, you got to see it. It's got to be within 30 feet. Yeah. Drysrinn, how are you feeling this morning?
Well, she got 100.
No matter what. So Beverly, she's crashing out over there.
I knew it. Like, and we
They're both crashing out over
make
there.
sure that Bev wakes up. Just Bev.
Yeah, Beverly wakes up. Yeah, she wakes up fine. She's okay. She doesn't have a precious or anything. She wakes up just fine. A little haunted by the dream, but she'll probably come over equally and be like, "Oh my God, Drysrinn! Why won't you wake up, Kiro?"
I knew it. I knew this place was perfect.
I knew we should have slept in the bed!
Yvain. What room is Yvain in?
Let's go. I'll go get her. I'll go get her. Takes out the bit. Not even like getting armored. She just takes out her giant fucking sword, runs out into the hall. Yvain, you wake up. Zarbolg's been looking at his gear a lot. His grappling hook. What's going on there, Zarbolg? Are you like being extra weird about it, or are you just like finding a new place to hook it up? It's your choice.
No, he's definitely being extra weird about it.
Yeah.
He's
Yes.
He's fishing out of his pack because it was in there pretty deep. He hasn't used it in a bit. There's nothing to grapple around here. But he pulls it out. He's definitely like kind of like looking at it in the whatever candlelight there is here.
Yeah.
He's maybe maybe sitting cross-legged kind of in his sort of samurai meditation fit, right? And he's like kind of got it laid across his lap or whatever, and he's like, I'm gonna make this grappling hook work.
So like the 8-year-old who got his first set of plastic nunchucks from Dollarama, it's just
absolutely.
You made probably not a huge deal, but Zarbolg has indiscriminately decided to go to the depths of his bag to uncover a grappling hook, which he seems pretty into this morning, kind of randomly, which is cool. And the door. Boom, 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 boom.
Open the doorway.
Yvain, Beverly in sleepwear, which was just probably like a tunic and whatever, is there with her big ass sword. She goes, Drysrinn won't wake up this morning. She won't wake up this morning. She went to sleep, and she never woke up.
Okay. Go back. I'll be there in just a moment.
Okay.
Let me put some clothes on and get my things.
Right. Oh shit.
And
she's like, yeah, me too. And she goes running down the hall. And one of the vampires walking by with like fresh linens goes, like it normally does. She goes, no, look at me, and then like keeps running. Yeah.
I will gear up and get all my things and go promptly to see Drysrinn.
Cool. Yep. You get yourself together. You make your way over, and you find Drysrinn is just like doesn't seem. Well, I'm sure a medicine check is on the way, right?
Yes, I was.
Go right ahead.
Actually, before we do anything, let me roll my wheel of woe.
Sure. Yep.
It will be woe today.
Ooh.
Because that is so. Everything I do, will be fuck your buddy, not help your friend.
Fair enough. Fitting considering your dreams last night.
I know, right? And yes, now if I may do a medicine check, please.
Mm-hmm.
Which not going to be great. I mean, I asked once the archive for this, so let me see here. That's 7. Fuck me, 8.
Nothing seems to be medically wrong with her. She just, she won't wake up. If there is anything physically medically wrong with her, it's probably like a inside problem, but after a physical inspection, there's no, gangrenous wounds or anything that is alarming.
Her breathing seems normal. Her heart rate doesn't seem slower beyond what a normally sleeping individual. Like, it's going to be slow. She's athletic.
With an 8? Yeah. Just...
it seems...
It just
all right.
Seems unwakeable. No amount of slapping, jostling, or even physical harm will awaken her.
So, what we won't be doing is panicking.
Hero,
because the
like,
Planetar said...
Hero was pacing back and forth. Like, she moved Drysrinn to the bed. She's been pacing this entire time. And, standing behind you as you're doing your medicine check, just what is it? What's wrong?
Yeah, both Beverly and Hero. What? Ah!
I promise I won't keep a thing, not a single secret, but it would help me to do a better examination if you weren't, like, right on top of me.
Oh,
You just, like,
right.
take a step, just a 2 feet back, just so I could,
Yeah.
move about, check the pulse, check the respiration. So far, things look absolutely, quite normal.
Right.
Then
Great.
why isn't she waking up?
Yeah.
So, we are in an unusual place, and I don't know all the rules. What I do know is that a planetar promised us that we would be safe here. So, before we panic, we're going to speak to our host. And then, if our host has nothing to say about it, I'll go pop into her dream and give it a little look-see, right?
As soon as you mention your host, Hero immediately, like, she's still looking at you, she's looking through you. As soon as you mention talking to him, like, trident out, turns around, starts walking towards the door. Oh, don't worry, he'll talk.
You could just ask. I don't think it's going to be a problem. It'll be easier if you are just gentle with it, I promise. Maybe let me do this one. Right? I'm pretty good at this sort of thing. Let me and Ember do it.
You and Ember will talk to him.
Well, someone's got to keep an eye on Drysrinn, right, Kira? We could keep an eye on her. I mean, there's all these weird dudes around.
Make sure that she's so safe, yes, and we trust you. And Beverly more than we trust. We've established this, yes? So stay here. Let me go speak to our host.
If you don't get it out of him, I'm going to.
It's going to be. Does this mean not worried? You have seen me worried. I have been worried in the past. You've seen it. This is not my worried face. I'm going to go fetch my mate and Ember. And then we're going to have a talk. Breathe. Be cool. It's going to be fine. And as she leaves... And as she leaves, she actually thinks, nah, I'm going to just take Ember. I'm just going to take Ember. And if Cedric is, like, on the way, she'll gather him. But she does want to be quick in going to see our host and find out, what does he have to say about this?
Which is a good point. How is Cedric and Ember this morning? I mean, you guys had some crazy, visceral dreams last night. I don't know, what's going on?
He's strapping on his armor in a very unenthusiastic way, chewing on his rations for breakfast, and muttering curses to himself in Gnomish about this place.
Okay, fair enough. What about you there, Ember?
After Ember climbs out of the ring, he'll put the ring back on and make himself coffee and a croissant and wait for people to get up.
All right, fair enough. So at which point you'll probably see Yvain and Zarvald walking with attention.
Good morning. Coffee?
Oh, not quite yet. If you'll just come along, I'll brief you on the way. And we'll just, like, assume he's going to fall in line, and we'll get him up to speed as we go to find Sir Cedric. Or our host, like, whichever's on the way.
I think finding Cedric would be on the way. You guys are all on the same floor, and it's a big palace. So, Cedric, you get a knock on the door, and you're going to see the goon squad is ready to do stuff.
All right, I follow, and I give out of the corner of my eye, a very ugly look at the breakfast of Ember.
That's funny. You find your host in the library downstairs. There are some spooky skeleton guys who are sort of at the door. In the sense, like, after Ember's threat of burning down the entire library, maybe it cautioned a little nervousness on his part, and some guys have been put there. Not necessarily to keep you out, but to maybe run and tell him if you guys go in there. But nonetheless, you guys make your way through, and they kind of like... Sit. You see they make these like weird, clearly trying to communicate gestures and like a go on in kind of thing. And you see him, your host, the angel, at a broad desk with a pen, like almost like architecture blueprints, almost working on something. And you enter, and he smiles and says, "Good day, morning, whatever you want to say. It is."
Yeah, exactly. Strange dreams last night. Drysrinn won't wake up. She doesn't seem to be injured. Everything seems to be fine. She just won't wake up. Now, I can go into her dream, but if this is something that you can...
He's already
I
moving.
I can illuminate some of this. Drysrinn was having I think a shared dream. She was dreaming about a candle that she was holding, and it was burning down, and the flame of her candle was not very bright. I endeavored to make that flame more robust, but it wasn't terribly effective.
And he listens, but when you say he like Drysrinn won't wake up, his eyes kind of like immediately goes from like good morning to like uh-oh. And if you're talking with him, you're walking very quickly after him as he's like, I'm going there now. And he very much takes all of the words you're saying, not out of rudeness, but just with like silent, dare I say, like processing what it could be. And he comes into the room rather quickly, and will look at Drysrinn, and then make his way across the room to Drysrinn, kind of kneel next.
He doesn't make it that far. And once he gets to like, Shakira will let him in the room if she sees everyone else standing behind him. But she steps in front of him and is like, you know what's going on? And we'll look at Yvain behind him.
Needs to look. His experience is far greater than my own.
It's very much that like dead focus, and then you step in front, and it's that like what? Like his attention's like, what's going on? And he looks down at your hero because he's like 10 feet tall. And
less than half his height, for sure.
Yeah, and as he's like, he was literally just like so trained on, he's like, what's going on? And then once he like catches up, he kind of, the smile returns, and he says, you are good to protect your friend, but I promise you, she's nothing to fear from me. I will say this kind of broadly now. There's been no mortals here, so focused on accommodating you physically, I never even thought to think about what these dreams could do to you. I'll take better care about your well-being in the future, but for now, the only way I could help her is if I could expect her.
Please.
Yvain talks, she'll, like, facing him, she'll look at Yvain around him, and she'll step out of the way.
And he gives he spares a second for a courteous nod. Doesn't force his way past you, but yeah, you step out of the way. He makes his way over and kneels beside the bed, shrinking his 10-foot height down to still massive, but low enough that he's like closer to Drysrinn. Doesn't initially lay a hand on Drysrinn. There's no physical inspection. Just kind of like gently like looks over Drysrinn's whole form, like he is seeing some spectral something more than what beyond the mortal lies and understanding. And not unlike Gandalf to Pippin, puts his massive hand over Drysrinn's brow gently, and closes his eyes and whispers quietly, and there might be just like the flicker of like levity in there. Like all of this oppressive gravity of force, just for a second, just kind of, the gravity lightens. And then as it returns, Drysrinn opens their eyes. And you awaken to see this giant angel over top of you. And just smiles. You're muted, by the way. He just puts his hands up. He says, "You're okay," and he just stands.
Make too much noise.
Yeah, and he just stands up and begins to sort of back off. He says, "You're okay. You're all right. You just were a little extra sleepy this morning. I was just helping out." And he steps back and lets whoever wishes to be the "this is what's happening" crew go ahead. He's the stranger here.
Kira looks at Yvain. Like, she's standing at the end of the bed, but she looks at Yvain.
Alright, so you may have noticed that we're not exactly in Exandria anymore, right? We are definitely on sort of a different plane of existence. So the rules of existing are different in this space. Our host is a literal angel tied to Sehanine, the Moonweaver. And if I'm understanding, they are here to keep the vestige out of the wrong hands.
The angel will just be like, "In all fairness, I don't actually know to which god my original service was to, in fairness, but please continue.
No, it is an assumption on my part.
Fair enough.
But, I mean, we can talk about the reasons why I suspect it as such, but nonetheless, so if I'm inclined to trust this individual just because they are celestial in nature, if they seem foreign, it's because they've spent a millennia in isolation. Like that would be anyone. They don't know the entirety of what's going on. But we are okay. Breathe. You and Drysrinn and Beverly may just want to talk for a bit. We can give space. Makes a nice breakfast.
And I'm gonna say, while Yvain is giving this little calming speech, he has that little, like, to be fair, I don't know who I'm served, but somewhere in there he just kind of like looks around the room and realizes, and he just gently leaves the room, leaves the space. He doesn't say anything, just lets Yvain continue and just leaves. Anyone could have stopped him if they had anything to say, but he leaves.
I'm more concerned that happened night 1. What happens night 2? What happens night 3? What happens for however long we're down here?
So none of us know the answers to those questions, but he did seem to suggest he could protect us better, and I did not cast my nightly protection on you, as it is the first night. I have not cast Dreamwalk. The reason I cast that spell is to protect your dreams. So if you're going to be mad at something, I chose a different spell expecting something different. I've been protecting your dreams for years. Speaking of which, we'll ritually cast Dreamwalk on everyone in the room. Well, she'll wait until the blood hunters join.
Yeah, we'll say you, like, before we all eat breakfast today, let's say a prayer. And you can get everybody. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, excellent. Ember, I imagine breakfast was made in, or I'll tell you what, on the way out, he would have caught you, Ember, and he would have said, I don't know if you're interested. You seem to be continuing the taking responsibility for your group's sustenance, their needs. If you're a cook, we do have a a rather long since used kitchen here. I'd be more than happy to have some of my sons clear out the mess if you wish.
Well, that would be fantastic. Uh, I believe we wandered by it, and it was
Grotesque.
rather in need of a good tending to.
Excellent. I will see to it that it's cleaned out as soon as possible. And then he'll just give you a last little thank you for helping out.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Can I get you a cup of coffee? I have some.
What is coffee?
Here.
I'm sure this doesn't mess with my physiology at all. He'll have a drink and he'll be like, oh, this is very bitter. But I like it. Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
And he'll take his cup of coffee and he'll take off and but either way he'll say the dining room's available to you, Ember, if you ever want to set up breakfast or whatever, and he's gonna get the kitchen fixed up for you. And you guys can all meet up at breakfast now. I'll say your host hasn't immediately made himself present as you guys all come in to settle in. Nor has he left any of his sons in the dining room as previously requested. He just kind of leaves you guys to kind of get settled into breakfast. But as you're midway through, he then comes in. A number of his sons come in, line the walls again, seemingly in a service kind of thing. But again, there's still that shakiness of temptation. And he'll sit and he'll say, well, good morning, or good day. I don't know really what to say. But hope everybody is having a better morning now that our drama has passed. And should anybody have any similar reactions to this place, please let me know and I'll see to it that they're taken care of. I notice, and he'll address sort of the broad group. He'll say, is there anybody, there seems to be a great deal of magic present. Clerics and druids and such present. I will be very easy in my saying that my talents are not dissimilar to a lesser restoration spell, or at least what I used on Drysrinn. So if any of you had a mind to prepare such spells yourselves, if you have access to them, you should be able to help anybody who has any other adverse effects that are similar in the future. So, but please let me know if anything else needs help of any kind. I'm going to do what I can, but my magic and my abilities do have some limits. So we'll work together to see that your stay here is not difficult, and to a point, isn't too long either. I stayed up last night and I thought of some trials, as I put it, and I think I've got a very good idea of how I would like today to proceed, if all of you are still amenable to such things. But for the time being, have some breakfast and feel free to ask any questions you wish, or we'll take our time to it. But I don't want you to have to stay here any longer than you need to.
It's important that we get back. We have to protect Alexandria.
I understand.
But a good breakfast never hurt anyone. So we appreciate a moment to enjoy our companionship.
By all means. So allow me, I don't need food, so I'll leave you to your own company then. And whenever you are ready to see what the day has in store for you, I will be available. Just the last question, is anybody here a skilled smith by chance? That's okay. Just a curiosity. Thank you. We'll see you later. And he will depart, and he will make a hand signal to his sons, and they will follow him out.
As he's heading out of the room, I'll just sort of put a hand to pause him for a second.
And he'll pause.
Greetings works any time of the day.
Greetings?
Yeah. Sort of non-specific. You don't need to worry about what time it is.
Ah. I will use that. Thank you, Cedric. Thank you. Well. He'll just leave it at that. Yeah. He'll leave you guys to your own to finish up your breakfast.
So, Cedric, you are quite keen. You have a way of just getting to the heart of things that I quite appreciate. Probably a skill you've developed, but also a talent that I think I should possess more of.
When you go through life this size, you have a different perspective. You notice the smaller things.
That's great. Zarvalk, I saw a hand from you. Is there something you wanted to put in there?
Oh yeah, just a couple maybe above table things I want to clear up. Is Camellia with us?
She is. Yeah, she's present.
She is.
Quietly
Okay.
present. If a little
So
disturbed.
she does have lesser resto.
Mhm.
If she notices anybody needs it. Also, does would anybody even notice my infatuation with my new infatuation with my grappling hook, or is it? I mean, that's not a terribly obvious thing, right?
Yeah, I imagine in the grand scheme of weirdness going on, you checking out some of your equipment or considering it or keeping it close wouldn't be, I think, at the forefront of anybody's mind.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's already multiple people around here having a relationship with their weaponry. I mean,
It's true.
Right.
And one of them being you, Zarble.
Yeah, one of them being me. And then the third thing, do I have the presence of mind? Could I swap out an attunement?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna swap out the crossbow. I'll re-equip the ballista, and I'll attune the cloak of the bat.
Fair enough. And to be clear, Zarvolg, you can play this however you want, but statistically speaking, you're just you. You just don't want to be away from that sword or that grappling hook now.
Yeah. No, this grappling hook is going to be a part of it now.
Hell yeah.
God, now
Have you ever seen the David S. Pumpkin skit on Saturday Night Live? Where the two B-boy skeletons say we're a part of it. That's the grappling hook and the sword now. They're a part of it.
Great. Fantastic. Incredible. Anything left to be done at breakfast, or do you guys want to see what's lined up for you guys today?
Does breakfast count as a short rest?
Yeah, sure.
Some of us are still very ouchies.
Fair enough, yes. You guys would have had ample opportunity for a short rest, yes, absolutely.
Did she not get a long rest?
No, anybody who failed the saving throw didn't succeed in long rest, which I think would have just been Zarvolk and Drysrinn.
And it was
we're
28
we're taking it short now, you said?
Yeah.
I'm so hungry this morning. I'd kill for a steak. I don't know why.
Raw and wriggling.
Steak I probably can't do, but eggs and bacon I can probably manage.
This cooking is amazing, Cedric. It's frozen.
Okay. Well, with that short rest had, you guys can advance to perhaps go meet up with this angel guide, see what his plan is, he will. I'm going to say that all of your NPCs have abstained from these sort of like trials of accessing this knowledge or whatever. Alistair stubbornly has not, though. After yesterday's insistence that it's not about you, bro. So he seems to have put himself forth, maybe more of making a point than anything. Kira?
Above table question, because I just looked. We were talking about hit points and everything. A couple sessions ago, she got bit by one of these guys, and it took, I think, 2 hit points off of her max. Is that still a thing, or no?
No, you
Okay.
recovered those blood cells last night when you slept. We're good on that point. Okie dokie. So, you guys find yourselves meeting up with your host. I actually like that a lot better. Feels a little less ostentatious than the angel. I'm gonna say, like, though there's everything on the ground in the actual game, I'm gonna say, like, to a degree, the floor has been cleared off more. A little bit like, oh, we have guests now, everybody clean everything up. So the floor has been cleaned largely. And a number of his sons are present. Again, just sort of watching. He's going to say, all right, so I have a number of trials, as I've said, that I wish to use to test all of you. So, let's see here. Where reading. Two guys refracts cases, 7 to 7, 3 impulse. Hunger fears. So, he is going to be able to make some interpretations about all of you from sight alone. Being an angel, his eyes extend beyond merely what is in front of him, and he will understand some things. But I don't, the DM, have such powers as the angel does. So, above table, based on your character, I'm going to ask you guys to define yourselves in one of 3 ways. Whichever one of these 3 next statements appeals to you most is going to be your group of the trials, essentially. So, the first group is group number 1, those that hunger for knowledge. Group number 2 is going to be those who fear of consequence. And group number 3 is going to be those who dream of transcendence. Those are my 3 options, as whichever one speaks to your character the most. Fear of consequences, dream of transcendence, or hunger for knowledge. Which can be summarized in power, fear, and ambition, essentially, at the end of the day. I'll post those in case you guys want to look at them really, really hard to make your decision. And I'll tell you what, when you know where you think you fit, let me know, and I'll toss your mini in that direction.
Oh yeah, I'm dreaming of transcendence for sure.
I had a feeling.
Hero would.
Oh, sorry, Kira. Yvain, go ahead.
Oh.
I saw your hand.
Dream of transcendence.
Ah,
Oh.
surprising.
Yeah.
All right.
Consequences.
Consequences. Very interesting. Okay. Kira?
Consequences.
Saw that coming a little bit, admittedly. Drysrinn?
Transcendence.
All right. We're either about the power or we're scared. Let's see here.
2 things can be true.
Yep. Two things can be true. That's absolutely right. Ember, what about you, my friend? Tough call.
In particular, and I think Ember's response will be, I am not fit for these trials because I cannot separate myself into any one of them. I exist in all three.
Okay. There's no one you would hold higher than the others.
No.
Okay. But here's what I'm going to say, because this is an above the table thing. This isn't him like asking you guys. This is me asking you about your characters. So I will say, like, he very easily begins to delegate some of you. He's going to say, you know, Kieran, Cedric, please over here. Zarvolg and Drysrinn over here. And then he'll kind of stop with you, Ember. And kind of tilt his head. He says, you're a bit of a puzzle, I think, Ember. Might have to test you more thoroughly then.
As you wish.
Very well. Alistair. Definitely not fear of consequence. He goes into hunger for knowledge group, actually. I'm gonna ask Yvain. Maybe just DM pure surprise. Not hunger for knowledge.
Why does she? Knowledge is a means to an end.
That's fair.
Like it was always about serving her community. It was always about becoming more to do her job. It was never knowledge for knowledge's sake.
But transcendence. She wants to become more.
She can't do it as she is.
Fair enough. All right. Then the impulse for Yvain being transcendence. She's grouped there. And yeah, for Ember, he's just a little curious. I'm gonna say above table, he just delegates it down to what you are at the end of the day, which is a fiery individual. And the nature of fire is a hungry one, an ambitious one. So I think he'll put you in transcendence. Let's put you in transcendence.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Okay. And we don't need to worry about Alistair's just by himself. I just want to know how to kill shit. So I'm not trying to be more than I am. He's a priest too, right? Alright, he goes, excellent. Well then, I'm going to start with my largest group. Ember, Yvain, Zarvolg, and Drysrinn. I would speak to you all three first. I will speak with you three as well shortly, but for the time being, and he will speak with all of you. Okay. My knowledge-hungry ones. Knowledge-hungry ones. +3, +B, +C.
No, this group is transcendence.
Transcendence.
Oh, this group's transcendence. Yeah, he's dealing with the transcendence people, right? Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So your trial is... Going through my trials. So many trials. Okay, great. He steps forward and he is going to ask you all to sit with him, essentially. He says, this trial is best not done in this place, but done within our hearts and minds. So, I cannot commune beyond this veil, but I can commune within it. So allow me to commune with you. Come, sit. He'll sit with each one of you. And as you sit and close your eyes, like, not entering a dream, so to speak, but more a vision, you'll close your eyes and open them, and you'll find yourself in this place, in this throne room. But it is just you and the angel, each one of you separately. The angel said, what is most notable is that there is a large, radiant throne that stands empty. The stairs start small, but they expand, larger and larger, as if to walk those stairs is to ascend not only physically, but to transcend mortality. And this throne is a throne meant for one equal to or greater than the prime deities themselves. It is a throne of godhood. And it is empty. It needs someone to sit upon it. And the angel says, sit. And the eye will bow to you. The vestige itself will bow to you. And for a heartbeat, I promise you this. You will see the world as gods do. But beware. The divine sight does not fade gently. Sit. And he will gesture.
May I ask a question before I do?
Yeah. I want to go through each person
Okay.
to a degree. So we'll start with you, Yvain. So yes, you look and you may ask a question.
This is to begin the trial. Yeah?
This is the trial. You are to sit, and you will glimpse divine power. This is the test.
She will sit.
Yvain sits. Ember, is there any questions you would ask? And by all means, if there's anything you want to say about what's going on in any of your heads during these trials, go ahead. But Ember, what do you do?
Ember will just go sit on the chair.
Fair enough. Kira? Or Drysrinn. Sorry, Drysrinn. My apologies.
I want to word this carefully. Okay. Thank you for this morning and the warning. Rhymes. Well, it's a challenge. I guess I don't back down from those. All right, let's go.
And he actually laughs as you say this and you do this. And last but not least, Zarvalg, do you just like jump, like ascend up like Superman?
Yeah, no, actually, he's gonna do like a very regal walk, as if it's already a throne that belongs to him, like a king ascending to his throne, right? And
Of course.
walk up and take a very like pointed, postured seat on the throne.
Excellent. You all take your place for the trial. As you all sit upon these thrones, well, each of you sit upon the throne, your eyes change, and you imagine it is not very different, if not more, than your host sees. You suddenly begin to see things beyond mortal vision. You see a veil of gray. You see spirits wandering here and there. The entire throne room alights with what is not there, but is also very much present. The spirits of everybody who has ever dwelt in this throne room, who has held court here, who wishes to be here, and the ethereal thereafter. You see things truly as they are. You see beyond all veil of illusion. You look around to acknowledge that you are inside of a dream, and your very eyes tell you this. You are inside of an enchantment. You are inside of an illusion. And you look upon Celestial. You don't just know it by the regalness and the white wings and the presence. Your eyes tell you, without a point of denial, that this is an angel. Specifically, this is a celestial being. And you can actively see their alignment, which is good. You gain true sight. You gain divine sense. You gain permanent detect evil and good. All within 10 miles.
Oh.
Your vision is also almost telescopic, like an eagle's. You could read a scroll 10 miles away. But it is a great deal of knowledge, of power, for your eyes alone and your mind to bear. I need everybody to roll a wisdom saving throw. Yvain, how'd you do?
That was a 20.
20, understood. Ember?
That'll be a nat 1 for a total of 7.
Got it. Kira? Oh, fuck me. Drysrinn? You're both in a blue shirt! No, I'm kidding. Drysrinn, what do you, what you roll?
22.
Very good, very, very good. And, Zarbo, how'd you do?
I have a technical question. This is very important to Zarvog, and there are, as far as I know, unless he feels like he's by himself. Can I use saving face for this?
Sure, yeah.
All right. So can I count 4 or 5 other people?
Count? What do you
Yeah, it has to be the number of my companions that are around me.
Oh! I will tell you what, you're in a vision, you can't see them, but you know that you're in a vision, and you know that you are here with 3 other companions. So I will allow you to add the other 3 present companions.
22.
22. Surprisingly, Drysrinn, it is difficult to see all of this. It's not unlike the 4th Indiana Jones movie that we don't speak about its existence really, but we will temporarily, where the German researcher lady, she's like, it's too much, and her eyes are burning and all of that. It's not unlike that. Drysrinn, you hold your will together. Zarvolg, you struggle to, but you this is very important to you, and maybe the opinions of your allies matter a lot to you. Yvain, surprisingly, on that 20 DC, you struggle. You struggle hard to contain the amount of knowledge and power you're seeing, which is maybe because of the joy, the excitement. Like, this isn't just knowledge, this is transcendent power, and the excitement of all of that, you forget to guard your mind for a moment. And it almost crushes you, and you kind of manage to hold on to it. Ember, the sheer power that washes over you, just not unlike, being a fire genocity, not unlike a tidal wave of knowledge crashes into you. And you can roll D100 for short-term madness.
$94.
94. You are just so stunned by what's going on here so incomprehensibly that you're just like that you just kind of lose track of the ability to speak. So you're just overwhelmed by the experience for the time being. Did I look at the wrong? I looked at the wrong chart. Sorry, what'd you roll?
94.
94. My apologies. I was looking at the wrong chart. No, you pass out. You pass out from the experience. It is so overwhelming. Eventually, Ember, you awaken on the floor in the room, surrounded by, I'm sure, your very freaked out friends, to which all the three of you would have been told, you'll be okay. Give them a couple of minutes. As I'm sure you all know, what you experienced was unlocked. You'll be okay. And sure enough, Ember does awaken about 3 minutes later from unconsciousness, kind of blinks back to consciousness. This trial wasn't about being able to hold on to divine power. This trial was about understanding it. That the vestige you seek will grant you powers not unlike what you've experienced, to a degree. Sight alone is deeply tempting, as I'm sure you saw. But with great power, well, it takes something from you, doesn't it? Please speak. I would wish to hear what you will take away from this.
I look around. Well, how does everyone feel?
Like my head's about to come apart. So really, everything being equal, I'll pass. I don't want to live with that on a regular basis.
That's, well, I will not say that the tolls taken by the vestige won't be potentially great. I don't know everything about it, and I never will. But it indeed perhaps gives an idea.
Vane, this seems like it was kind of your thing. Is this something that's not unfamiliar to you?
I think that was unfamiliar. Idea. Yeah, it's as much as any mortal mind can comprehend such a thing.
What about you, Drysrinn? You resisted power I presented to you quite extensively. And you've also seen the other side of it from your friend Ember, but what do you take from this?
I think there is always a lot happening. And there's only so much we can give our energy to. But this isn't the opportunity, or this isn't my thing. I don't. It's just really not.
You abstain on the basis that this is not your thing?
Okay.
I merely make fun.
Knowledge and sight is wonderful and all, but I have more violent tendencies, I would say.
Any who wishes to abstain from these trials may do so. I merely jest. If this is something you do not feel that you are able to give to or use properly, then I will not force you to try and see it another way. What you believe in yourselves will matter. Very well.
Oh, I think I could live with this part of it.
Okay, excellent. Then it sounds like Zarvok and Yvain will continue on to your third trial. This will come. I have decided to make these trials as complicated as humanly fucking possible. So, give me a minute, as I will be testing my fear of consequence, people. So he'll give you guys a break. Drysrinn and Ember drop out of the running, so to speak. He will summon your return there, Cedric and Kiro. Excellent. He will say, "Are you two ready for your trial?"
Get on.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, here it comes. And he's going to do the trial here. Here we go. Okay. He's going to say, "Please come with me." And he's going to take you all to the chapel that you guys all went into, with the weird skull and the bowl and all of that. And he'll look around kind of happily. And he will go to each light in the chapel, and he will put each one out. And in the center of the chapel, he will leave a single candle. He lights it not with fire. He lights it with something else of his will. And he steps back. And as you two approach the candle, you look deep into it. And you're going to notice the candle, not like a great wood fireplace, almost seems to dance. But not like people dancing with bodies, more like faces. And you see sort of faces appear from the fire and disappear. And just at the edge of hearing, along with these visions, you hear suffering. As you are there, you find that the flame sort of overcomes your sight, almost hypnotically. And you are filled with visions of unbearable torment, of people suffering. You sense, not unlike your dream last night, the desperate hunger of millennia the vampires are experiencing, and the desperate need to feed that you all in your presence have presented them. You hear the cries of lost souls that have been trapped here by this millennia of whatever happens that bound this place into its demiplane, the souls that were unfortunately stuck here and died, maybe mortals who fought here once before, who have been trapped here. And all the while, all of this torment over the vampires, over the lost souls, there's an overbearing presence and laughter above them all. This that same sort of hoarse voice that comes from the horned skull, that sort of bears down on the torment of all present. You are presented in your hand. You feel it enter your hand. Your hand is sort of raised each in turn, and a candle is placed into your hand, each of you. And you hear sort of from outside your village, your vision, your host's voice. He says, "Hold it. Hold it as long as you can." And again, not unlike your vision, you hold the candle. This does not burn like your vision, where just like it's burning down like crazy and it's a symbol of your will. It's a genuine candle. And the two of you stand, bearing this unquenchable vampiric thirst, this torment of millennia of soul unable to move on, and the overbearing weight of the overlord of this demi-plane roaring down upon you. And I'll need both of you to roll wisdom saving throws to bear the light for as long as you can. How'd you do there, Cedric?
17.
Very nice. How'd you do there, Kira? 20. Your candles burn down, and you stand there for perhaps a very long time. Minutes pass into half an hour, into an hour, into multiple hours maybe, and you stand there resolutely. It is no matter of constitution to stand here, but a force of will. And eventually, the candles just simply die out. And the visions stop with the candle dying out as everything goes black. And the screams and the torments and the voices and the visions end. And one by one, torches around the hall reignite. Your host turns to you two and says, "Very impressive, you two. Very impressive. I grouped you because of your fear. You fear power for what it will do to you and those around you. You fear what is to come. You fear the fate that has befallen so many within this plane who have come and gone and who are still here. I present this test to you to test your will against that very thing you fear, and more than that, to bear the burden. I want you two to remember this. And tell me, in the weight of all of this, in this torment and suffering and great evil that you faced and held out for so very long, please tell me, what kept you going? It was not endurance. It was not physical strength. What is it that fueled your will? There is a correct answer. He smiles.
I didn't know if I could. I knew that I had a shot. That. So we're fighting for it.
Cedric.
I don't want to lose anyone else.
You understand yourself well. Both of you. What kept you both going was just as you say. Is love It is empathy. It is compassion. These things you will be told often in your journey are weaknesses. It is not true. You stood because of these things, and you stayed because you are willing to suffer. And not just suffer for people, but alongside them. And that is an important distinction. You have certainly passed this trial, both of you. And thank you for your display of willpower. It was most heartening. Now, please return to your friends, Kiro. Cedric, I wish to have a final word with you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
She'll start walking out of the church. When she gets to the door, she will turn back and like look, not even looking at him, just look at Cedric like, "Are you good?"
Diana!
She'll look at him and then she'll close the door.
He looks at you, Cedric. He says, after our last conversation, I did tell you that I would lean on you to know your allies better. I have two questions for you, and the first is the more obvious to ask. Who would you choose in my position to bear this burden? And if it's you, please say so.
Not me.
True. Your
Definitely
will is
not me.
exceptional.
Always I have the best intentions, and always my confidence and my brashness lead me in the wrong direction. Someone steadier, someone less arrogant.
You better be careful being so arrogant in all of this humility that you're displaying before me.
No, this isn't humility. This is just many mistakes. Teach a hard lesson.
So then who would you pick?
I would ask her 3 questions. Why are they here doing these stupidly dangerous things? And then you have an impossible decision. How do you make it? And if you had this thing, what would you think to do with it?
Yeah, fine questions.
And I would ask Kira those questions.
I see. Will you do it? Will you ask her these questions?
Happily.
Excellent. The next question that I have for you is a different one. We spoke with my sons, and you spoke with great wisdom about the dangers they present to the wider world, and it has made me think. I have many thoughts of these, but the first one I would wish to ask is of you this. To prove to me, and to prove to all of you, that they can be a force for good. They must be as they are intended to. You've seen them around the palace. They cannot persist in this state forever. It is too much to ask of anybody to maintain that kind of will. Eventually, they will need to feed. And if they return to the other world, they'll find an ethical way to do it. I will help them too, whether it be animals or willing charity, I suppose is the word. But for now, I think what is most important is that they can prove that they can be good here and now. But the test be here before there. I intend to ask your group if someone would be willing to donate blood for this experiment. I come to you first to ask, frankly, how best you think it is to go about this, or if there is someone who would be more willing than the others to do this. I do not wish to deceive. I only wish to prove, in truth, without faith alone, that's what I wish is possible, if that makes sense.
So, we've been very forthright with one another in the last 24 hours. And this may be my brashness coming through, but I will speak honestly with you now. I would tell any of my companions to do no such thing and it help you in no such way. I think it is... Loneliness is a profound torture, and it seems even angels can fall victim to it. Those aren't people. People are redeemable. Those are things those are monsters left when you rip the soul out of a person. I would do nothing to help you return them to the world.
I understand. And I appreciate your rashness. I do. And I do not take your warning lightly. I do intend to ask them, however, regardless, willingly, to this trial. And if none of them are willing to do so, then I will go from there. And that is very well. I hope you understand I wish to do this to prove that my vision isn't just arrogance, or like you say, faith in the wrong place born of loneliness. So I appreciate your candor, and so I return it too, and ask if there is some way you would be willing to help me go about this in the best way possible, or if you think my plan is entirely foolish. This test, anyway, not the plan as well.
You may be the most powerful being I've ever encountered. I have fought for princes and I have fought for generals. The more power you have, the bigger your mistakes can be. I would do nothing to help you in this.
I respect that, and I understand. Very well. Well, hopefully, the sentiment is carried with as much respect as you have shown. When I make the question, I have every expectation that it will not go as well as I might hope. But thank you, Cedric, for your candor. And he'll leave. And there is... You can tell it has deflated him a little bit, your words. Not with anger or malice or anything like that towards you, but just, a little disappointed. Not, again, in you, just perhaps his plan, his own faith in his plan. and he will go on to go test Alistair, which will happen in private. And we are a little past our break time, so why don't we do that now? We'll be back in like 10, 15-ish. All right. Let's get back to her. So, while you guys recover, or some of you recover, I will say, Ember, Zarvolg, Yvain, and Drysrinn, your test was pretty quick. Your guys maybe took like 10, 20 minutes to complete. Hero and Cedric's test took like 3 hours to complete. And you all reunite, and if you would all wish, you could all share your experiences if you want. As he tests Alistair, you guys would have had some time to hang out, catch up, and certainly short rest, if you required. Where would you, I'll tell you what, you guys probably are hanging out there's a bit of a common room up in the sort of guest room spire, if you will, so maybe you guys stay. Yeah, no shame, no shame. So you guys are shown like a very nice guest room, and you guys can hang out there. At which point, Alistair arrives with with your host. And he is going to address you all. And he's going to say, well, thank you all for enduring my trials, and the first set have gone by quite well. I'm excited for the next round of trials, but before we begin those, I do have a request I wish to make. You're all going to have mixed opinions, to be sure, and I'm interested to hear all of them. But I will tell you this. My children struggle, as you can see, very deeply with your presence here. It is not an issue I am terribly concerned of in the short term, and they have just demonstrated impressive willpower. But this will not persist forever. There will come a time when supposedly we can all get out of here, which will be excellent. Which brings up the question of what I am to do with my children, my sons. I believe, well, really, the vestige has made me believe that even the most evil, supposedly irredeemable thing in the multiverse can be transformed into a force for good. And that is my hope for my sons. But I do not wish to do this naively. I do not wish to do this on blind faith. I do not wish to do this out of a kinship. They must be tested to be understood if this is truly something possible, or, well, if they are what they are, no matter how much that might pain me. So, my proposition is this. I would ask for a volunteer. Somebody to volunteer not a great deal, but some of their blood. Some of their blood for one of my children who I would wish you all select at random to prove that anyone out of the bunch may be able to hold up to the standard, may be able to use their strength and their power for the good of all. This is my request. And I can understand it is one that will take a great deal of faith, but I think a good way to test my best hopes.
Is there something something that can be like, I don't know when the next trial is going to be, or if this is the next trial. Can we have some time to discuss it amongst us?
Of
That's a
course.
significant.
I have
That's a lot,
a
right?
singular question.
Indeed. And as a quick note, yes, you would request time to decide, I'm more than happy to give it to you. This is not part of the trials. My request is not one that I make to determine your worthiness, as this would be a strange moral factor to anybody. It shouldn't be held against you. Yes, Ember, please.
You refer to them as your sons. How is it that they are your sons and in the state that they are in? What was the nature of their change?
They were vampires, are vampires, and have been as long as I can remember. Their current state is a malady of their starvation. They have not had blood for a very long time, and it has stripped them down to... Well, they maintain a certain level of intelligence. In fact, I would, with great respect, imagine that there are some amongst my sons who might be able to outsmart even some of you. They're very clever, and they are capable of communicating with one another through hand gesture. I apologize, I digress. They are my sons because they treat me as their father. Not because I have enforced my will over them, but because they have wished it. That is why they are my sons. And they have been vampires as long as I can remember in this place, and admittedly, I imagine they were probably vampires before that. It is quite possible that they were minions of the one who truly ruled this place long ago, my original enemy. They may have even served the betrayers. I will not sugarcoat who and what they are. But it has been a very long time since those days. And I would wish to give them at least a chance to prove themselves. If it is of any assurance, should the worst come to pass, should we feed one another, and they are made whole, and they cannot live up to the standard that I had hoped, I am prepared to do what must be done. And also assure that my trial will not be... I will guard you from it, should the worst come to pass. Though I hope it does not need to come to that. I am aware that in the city, upon your arrival, that a couple of my sons fell to all of you. I make no judgments. Sometimes things need to be done that would rather not have to be done. And I understand that they are dangerous. So, this is all to say that I still will do everything in my power to defend you, and that we will certainly not be scattering blood to the masses and find ourselves overwhelmed in this place, no. One, if you would argue different terms, that maybe there was two, just in case of coincidence, so be it, but I wish to test them, it's the end of the day.
The nature of change requires a degree of faith. If you believe with the sight that you possess, which I could not bear, that they are within the bounds of redeemable change, I will volunteer.
You do me a great kindness. And my sons, of course. A great kindness. It gives me great relief to hear your willingness to have faith in this test. Thank you.
It's not faith in the test. It's faith in change.
May I ask?
You may ask anything you wish.
Ultimately, she actually kind of giggles and blushes. But ultimately, how many children do you have?
He will say. He says, I had 25 last I checked, but I admit I don't know exactly how many may have met an end at your discretion. I've admittedly been dreading to ask, but...
I am... Obviously, 25 is quite different than 2,500. Yes?
It surely is.
And knowing the scope of the ultimate ask is relevant. We had a wonderful friend named Litt, who was a necromancer of extraordinary skill and the most deeply kind individual you could ever want to meet. In truth, he brought forth unlife from nothing but a bowl of consomme and a can-do attitude. I do not hyperbolize in that. He called Frederick and Claudia his children, and when Joriel killed them, he mourned. We all did. Gumbo was creepy, but Blint called them his children. Yeah? And he also communed with the Raven Queen that day. I'll mind you that I'm the one who ended up needing catechesis. He was fine, so
I
have faith in my friend.
Just a quick...
I'm sorry.
No, there's nothing to apologize for at all. I just for context, what is, Raven Queen?
Yvain?
Alistair's like... looks a little like, what the fuck? Go ahead.
Yvain pulls a book out of her bag, and it is a book that she picked up in Lyrengorn that is about the Moonweaver and her relationship to each of the prime deities. And what she will say is, well, Alistair is one of her priests, and you should talk to him, because I feel like this is very important in regards to the Raven. Actually, I don't feel like it. I've spoken to her myself, and I know this is you should speak. But here's a book, and it's for you.
Thank you. I'll be sure it's returned to you. I appreciate that. And
No,
if you
it's
wish,
good.
Alistair, I'd love to speak with you of your god. So, of course. I digress. I apologize. There's a great deal of context in the material world that I have been remiss from for some millennia, so catching up. But regardless, there is... You make a good point. 25 is not 2,500, but we aren't talking about bandits. We are, as a matter of fact, talking about vampires, where one can do unsettling amount of damage. That much I know. So, I understand the discomfort that must come with this request.
And we are aware of just exactly how much damage a single vampire.
So, well,
During our travels, I've noticed Ember wearing a holy symbol of the Changebringer, haven't I?
unless, yeah.
Shit.
um, he will look at you, Ember, and he will say, "Well, I think it only fitting the one providing the sustenance be the one to choose. So, Ember, whenever you're ready, please
That
explore
one.
the." Oh, he'll turn around and he'll look, and the three. So we'll say there. And this is to make it a little bit random. There's a right one, a left one, and a center one. Which one did you point at?
The one on the right.
You point at the one on the right. You see the center one kind of like almost a little like trying to put them like no, it's me. And he goes, I see. Well, that was easy. Very well. Very well. I will make the preparations. Why don't you meet me in 20 minutes in the main hall? And any who wishes to come, of course.
Yes, yes. Yes, I will be there. I will not be leaving, Ember.
Understood.
And once he and the others leave, I will look at the others and go, part of my strength is drawn from heritage that is in my blood. I have long suspected that it is of a celestial origin. I don't know that for absolute, but I know that I feel drawn in a particular way. And whether these individuals are redeemable or not, this should provide as good a test as can be had.
Glenn's going to be so jealous when we tell him about this. Oh my God, can you imagine? We have to figure out how to break it to him gently, you know?
Is there anything I can do to change your mind on this?
I don't believe so.
What if you can select any hill, any valley, any place you choose in all of Exandria, and I shall labor to transform it in any wonderful, crazy, random way your heart desires.
I don't pretend to fully understand the why, but I do hear your point of view. And please understand, I appreciate the thought. I have a degree of my own personal curiosity, and I am a firm believer in that if there is an outcome to be seen for good or ill, what I have in me provides the best opportunity to see that done. I have faith that if it goes poorly, that he will be true to their word and intention. But I have done as much harm as any one of them may have. And if it wasn't for these good people and others taking the time and the risk to provide me an opportunity to center myself, I would be in no worse a moral shape than these creatures are.
You can see on Cedric's face, he doesn't agree with a word you just said.
And that's perfectly fine.
The second they started talking about gods, I should have just walked my ass to Western.
Alistair says, "You have no faith in the gods." Like, you don't have faith in the fucking gods. They're awesome. See an Odd with Palo fighting Theris Dune? Awesome, man.
I believe that I have faith there, out there. And if ever the world shakes itself in two, or a monster the size of a mountain comes walking down the road, I will be on my knees praying to them. But in the days in between, I found we get along just fine, minding our own business.
Oh yeah, you're in the totally wrong group. Holy shit, yeah. Oh no, we're all up in the middle of all the godly shit. All of it.
I had a drink in that man-sized mountain. Somebody built a bar in its butthole.
It's not mine. Absolutely.
I don't know if that's a more disturbing thing to say, if it's literally true or if you're talking in metaphor.
Beverly goes, "No, wait, isn't that actually happened in Vasselheim, didn't it?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Beverly will start pointing around the circle, go, "Zarbul got struck by lightning and now is the symbol of Cord on his chest. Drysrinn is a champion of Cord the day of challenging. Kiro has actively spoken to the Raven Queen after dying in blood or drowning in blood or something like that. Ember has divine blood and likes the Changebringer, and Yvain, well, I mean, you've talked to like all of them, haven't you?"
Not all of them actually, but I have sat in commune with the Platinum Dragon on a couple of occasions, and the Raven Queen on a couple of occasions, and the Knowing Mentor, and the Moonweaver.
And she's been possessed by being from beyond the far realms. So
Yeah.
and
there's that too.
Zalikas, who was a Solar and quite lovely.
So what's your favorite god?
I just hit things with sticks. I mean,
Sounds like Pelor, or maybe Cord.
I don't know. He's got a whole wild mother thing kicking, don't you think? You know,
Oh,
with
no, you're right.
yeah,
With
totally.
He's making all those vines go up his stick all the time. I thought he was praying, honestly.
And he speaks to animals. I love the way
You do speak to
you are
animals,
so
don't you?
kind to the creatures.
Wow.
I mean,
I have a
definitely.
jug, Cedric. Would you like some wine? It might help.
Have communion with us. Have communion with us forever.
he sort of looks above and says, I'm just fine.
Fair enough. I'm going to go see our host.
I will come and I will protect you as best as I can from this thing.
And Yvain will be going with you.
I'm gonna say I had a point there where like the angels, like as you can imagine, stat wise, is very very smart individual, smarter than I am. And I think would have actually left the vampire that Ember chose to like follow you around Ember until you're ready, so that you know that he hasn't just shuffled the board behind the scenes, for whatever reason. So he leaves the vampire and he'll just follow you around at this point.
But no,
Yeah.
if you do turn, I will render you to dust.
That's
Or knock
fair.
you over. Knock you prone.
Fuck my life.
Look, in the worst case scenario, I can just reincarnate you and we get above ground.
Or
Gnomes
you
are
don't
great.
die in the first place.
Oh, there's that. Yeah, that's the better choice. That's what we're hoping for. I'm just saying, always have a plan B.
You can
And
always
she
upgrade.
looks at you with the biggest grin.
Plan B.
Or get to a cleric really, really fast. There's multiple of us. I'm sure some of us have spare the die. So it'll be okay.
I think Alistair's like, I don't spare the dying. Yep. Dying.
Am I
yes.
the only one?
No, I've got
Okay.
it too. I've got a spare the dying on hand.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
so you've got chances.
Damn. I'll admit, Ember, you beat me to it. I was thinking of giving some blood donated to the cause. I mean, we're fucking. Actually, no, I take it back. Alistair doesn't say any of that. He's got a special relationship with vampires, as we know. So,
Can I just ask real quick, take a survey? Was there anyone here who wasn't going to be willing to give their blood to one of these vampires?
Alistair says, absolutely fucking not.
Okay.
Yeah. Camellia, if she's
Oh,
present, she's
and-
like, I don't think I have very good blood. I mean, I'm corrupted, so no.
Was gonna ask what Alistair thought, so it sounds like it was a no for me too.
No, fucking vampires. Absolutely fucking not. I mean, of all the fucking undead bullshit in
I
all of
actually
Exandria.
I don't know what I would have done. I would have had to pray for a while, to be honest with you. My situation is unique, but having been reprimanded by the Raven Queen herself, you
What?
can understand why I am so I want to tread gently upon her realm. I just feel it's better to be respectful.
We'll have to talk about that later. You recommended by the Raven Queen.
If it's any consolation, one bit me before and nothing happened. Well, not nothing happened, but I was fine in the long term.
I think it's not just if they bite you. I think that, like, they have to bite you and you have to die from it. Maybe. I don't know. You know something? All of my freaking notes on vampires are stuck to walls in Amon right now.
Alistair will say, they have to drink all of your blood down to the last drop and then bury you underground. And then you become their
Oh.
thrall for eternity or until they decide to actually feed you their blood. So that rarely happens.
How wretched.
Dramatic.
Yeah, it's not great. I would honestly be surprised if every vampire around here was a full That would be probably the most worrying thing. If every vampire in this fucker was a full-blooded vampire. I don't know what's worse, if they're all full-blooded vampires or if some of them are thralls under the dominion of one or two of them.
I get the feeling we've passed the point of which is worse. At this point, it's all just bad. So bad.
Oh no, we're definitely in the find out phase.
Oh, we're in the find out phase, that's for damn sure. We're gonna find ourselves very fucking pale soon, is what we're gonna find. But hopefully Ember's blood is spicy enough that it just kills them outright. So, here's to you, Fire Genasi. He's gonna be pissed. And with that, they can proceed to the, to the ritual. The vampire follows along. He almost kind of plays with his hands a little, like, nervously, but there's also the, like, sort of, there's a clear excitement a little bit, and, a thirst there. Yeah, it kind of follows you along, and as you come to the base, you guys can all stand around, and he will bring you aside, Ember, and he is going to say, or he's gonna bring forth, like, a chalice. He's gonna say, it was the nicest chalice I could find in Palace that isn't horrifically cursed. So I figured it would be fitting. We don't need him, you know, biting down, maybe not letting go, kind of thing, right? So, if you're ready, let us fill the chalice. He'll present the chalice to you, and a knife! He says to you, this is weird. Do you want me to leave you alone, or help you out?
No,
or...
it's fine.
Okay. How do you extract
I've
the
been
blood
injured
from-
before.
He laughs, because that's fair. I've never asked someone to voluntarily donate blood, so I'm sorry. I don't have a lot of new experiences. This is certainly one of them.
Do you have any orange juice?
No, we're out of orange juice. In fact, we're out of all juice. But yes, Ember, you can extract some blood. How would you extract it from yourself? Just like through the old cinema hand?
Actually, probably up the like the outside of the forearm.
Fair enough. Not completely disable your ability to wield a weapon for no reason. That's fair. A great flaw in cinema, but very dramatic, I think. But yeah, you sort of open your arm. You'll bleed into the chalice until it's full. And I'm not going to worry about damage or anything of the like, because he is going to cast a little cure wounds on you. And he is going to, pop you back up to full. He says, well, thank you very much. Take the chalice. He says, well, let's go do this thing. You can tell there's a bit of a nervousness in him. There's a lot riding on this. And you guys come into the main chamber where it's just you guys, the angel, one vampire in question. He looks down at his son and he says, do not be too eager, my son. Kneel now. And he like falls to his knees, and he's like nails are almost like scratching the floor from anticipation. And he says, I had given you all names, but they are not true to who you are. When you drink of this, I expect you will remember much. I will bid you this, and follow this wisdom as you drink the blood of Ember. Sip at the cup, but do not drink the dregs. And in this, prove ultimately your willpower. At least in the beginning. You face the greatest challenge of all of your siblings. Know that this is not a mercy. This is a greater test than any of your other siblings face. Do you wish to undertake this? And it actually pauses in consideration. And, but only for a moment. and then it quickly kind of nods its head. Again, very like a junkie, going through withdrawal a little bit. And he will present the chalice forward, and it takes the chalice, and you can hear its bones like rattling against the side of the cup. And I'm going to roll a magnificently high wisdom for the thing to act to sip at it, as his father says. This will be a tremendous test of will. Rolls pretty decently. Okay, I'm not gonna do this. You can tell it tries at first. It like puts its teeth on the edge of the lip and kind of like starts to pour it back as slowly as he can. But the moment that blood touches its teeth, it definitely has waves of control, where part of it just like funnels down its face and it kind of stops itself, like coming up for air, and then slowly tries to put its teeth back in, and then again continues to like consume it. Like he isn't fully in control of his body, and it is an immense test of willpower that largely he fails, but does his best to try and do. But it is a shocking sight. As the blood goes down, you can see it sort of dribble down the muscles, adding color to the thin muscles, and sort of bring life back to it. And you see in the middle of the chest a heart coming back to life and pumping that blood through the body. And as it comes to the last, it does not leave any dregs in the cup. It drinks all of it as much as it can. It doesn't like lick up the inside, so it does leave some. I wouldn't say the dregs, but it leaves some in the cup, and then kind of just like drops it to the ground. It is like in this moment of great ecstasy, and then it does fall to the ground. And as his muscles are beginning to like grow larger and larger, and skin beginning to sort of like appear in and around the muscles and wrapping itself around, it does convulse on the floor. This isn't like a yes kind of thing. There's something about the blood that does seem to cause it great pain. And it rolls around on the floor and hisses and thrashes and throws like it's ODing or something of the like, as his body like reincorporates. As it reincorporates, finally the last flesh kind of like spills up, creating cheeks and then flooding over the cheeks and inside and incorporating it, and what you are left with is this individual who is horrifically gaunt for a second. Like, you're like, okay, here's the human features, and it's got giant red eyes with black irises, hair begins to sort of grow black down the face, trailing like deep down the body, in sort of waves and greased waves. Its teeth are like almost doesn't have lips, as these like long serrated teeth are all around, like truly like a monster. And then the aesthetic sort of begins to come in, what you'd expect of a vampire. The black around the iris sort of fades into white. The cheeks fill in, not that sort of like gray vein, sort of blackish like creature, but sort of like begins to retract into a more laxed human face. And at a certain point, once the vocal cords appear, he starts screaming, howling in pain. The angel does not move to help him. He lets him go through whatever he's going through. Perhaps with some uncertainty in his eyes. But once it all ends, it lays on the floor, heaving in breath. Torn, tattered clothing. This is a male. He does have pointed ears, elves pointed ears. Excellent angular face, not a blemish in sight. Dried lips. Very much like looks like somebody who's like a little malnourished, a little underfed, not completely filled. But the bare baseness of that vampire sort of blending in with society appeal does return to this individual. And they just sort of lay on the ground, kind of, and eventually kind of like, not weakly, but still with some effort, pulls themselves to their feet. Like, not that they're not strong, it's just that they're out of balance or out of practice with using proper limbs, and stands up straight, kind of roils the shoulders and kind of looks around at everybody and looks up to the angel and kneels down and says, "Thank you, Father. Thank you." And the angel says, "Like I said, do not thank me. Your greatest challenge begins now. I hope you will prove me right." He says, "I will not dishonor you, Father." And he will stand. And we'll pay a look to you, Ember. And he's gonna say, "That was horrible. Thank you, but truly horrible. What did you eat?"
At which point Ember will just hold out his right hand as a small ball of flame appears. And then just close his hand.
That explains some of it, for sure. Don't get me wrong, I'm very appreciative to hear my voice again. Wow. I must apologize for any weirdness I may have displayed over the last couple days. I'm gonna go lay, if it's all the same. I am not in any state to be pleasant. I'm gonna lay down if that's alright. And the angel just kind of looks around at all you guys like, I think that's fair. By all means, why don't you join us for dinner? Excellent. Excellent. And he begins to walk away. And the angel sort of like looks after him and says, he kind of looks back to, or actually he says, "I will have another trial in a moment. I'm going to speak with some of my sons and just have them keep an eye on our newest brought together friend. I'll be back in a moment." And he does not go long. He comes back 5 minutes later and says, "Thank you very much, Ember. And I would thank and encourage all the rest of you to keep a sharp eye and maybe even get to know my newly fed son. I wish to know as much as the rest of you, I assure you, maybe more. Now, onto the trials. Let's begin again with wherever. Scrolling down the thing. It says, okay, so next trial is Ember, Zarvolg, Yvain, and once again Drysrinn. The next test is for you. Let us proceed, if you are ready. I have 3 for each. Excuse me. Drysrinn and Ember, you two have dropped out of the running, shall we say. So this is for Zarvolg and Yvain. if you two are quite ready.
Yeah, sure.
If you are quite ready, Yvain?
Can you hear me?
I can now, yes.
Okay. No, is Kiro also part of this?
Kiro is not. Kiro and Cedric had a different set of trials, and they will have another one to follow as well. But
very
I'm
well.
going to maintain my various groups. Yes.
Oh, I understand. Thank you.
No problem. So, we will speak to the rest of you later. Feel free to do what you wish around the palace. Especially those of you who have dropped out, shall we say. Maybe, I don't know, keep an eye on my experiment. If you wish, or don't. It's entirely up to you. Now, and when you all vacate, Yvain and Zarvalk, he will have you sit in communion with him again. And you will find yourselves inside of a starry chamber, not unlike many places you've visited, Yvain. Threads of light connect living mortals across the material plane, every thread vibrant and spoken. Lives and futures shimmering like harp strings, and very similar to visions described by Kira about, the strings of fate for mortals. The angel says, you could pluck a string and change a song. I remember hearing, you remember the funniest things. I remember hearing a mortal tell me once a theory they had that if a butterfly flapped its wings, a building will crumble many years later. Actions have consequences, and fate is not a set thing. Undo death, I bid you. Forestall war, I ask of you. Silent suffering is your trial. But every note altered breaks another harmony. Your challenge is such as this. Look around. See the threads. Try, if you possibly can, to connect them all. And understand which one to pluck. There are many that are correct, and there are many that are wrong, but each one will affect another.
And one must be plucked.
You must pluck a thread. Or, if you truly wish, you can abstain. There's always a choice. Please.
Very well. So is this like Yvain has moved through observatories and she's like imagined herself in starry spaces, and she knows that things connect. Is there a way that she can connect to it and sort of use that the divine sense, that the things that to get a feel for the board before just randomly plucking something?
You can certainly try. Let's see here. As you begin to analyze, you're like, okay, I'm very into mapping stars and constellations, and there is a weave of destiny. They say all prophecies come from the stars. You're like, okay, I got this. And you begin to move amongst the threads to try and use your knowledge as a basis to succeed here. And as you move through, you are going to begin to recognize individuals. Countless individuals. You're going to recognize the Kadogeist. You're going to recognize Allura Vaisurin. You're going to recognize Vexala. You're going to recognize Cedric. You're going to recognize your mother, your father. You're going to recognize the commoner drow that you saw living at the base of Lyrangorn, and not too well. You're going to see the high priestess of Lyrangorn all the same. You're going to see Zarval. You're going to see allies, enemies, loved ones, all. Is there one you would pick? Or not necessarily to pluck, but to get a sense of, like you're saying. And the same goes for you, Zarval, by the way. As you look among these strings, you'll see all these people.
Sure.
I am considering the threads.
They're countless. They're all interwoven.
And they're all mortal.
No, not necessarily. Like I said, there's the Cadogeist. There are maybe the ghost of that banshee that you saved, for example. It's endless. It is endless people and endless fates, strangers, but mostly, it seems in this challenge, people you know. Predominantly, more even. And all of their threads crisscross across the sky and connect in ways endless arithmetic to possibly map it all out. But you could intervene. You could pluck their thread, change something that happened to them. Your father was lost in a storm. You could change it so that his crew didn't die. You look at your mother and the dangers and trials and people she lost to reach the surface. You could change that. Help her shoot in just the right way at the right time. You look at Vexalia. You see a way where she could have saved her brother. Endless, endless possibilities. Endless people who could be saved. You have the foresight and the ability. You need only choose.
Cadogeist.
See the Cadogeist. You see the countless, countless, countless lives that she has ended. You see the endless times that she has pleased the Spider Queen. You've seen the torments she endured because of failure on the scant handful of times in her eternity. You've seen her ripped apart by the armies of man, divided. You've seen her manipulated and controlled. You've seen her endure every suffering and worse that you could imagine, and committed every evil and more that could be imagined by an assassin of her caliber. You see her as a little girl in the dark. You see her whole life. You could change any event. Save any one of her victims. All of them.
No. No, that was fated. That... Is there anything about the tapestry that looks wrong, that looks awry? Is there anything that stands out as being exceedingly problematic? Is there a snarl anywhere?
There's no knots.
There's
no, like, bundles of whatnot. Everything is very eloquently laid out in a spider web of threads merging and converging. If you pluck this one, it'll make that one vibrate, which will make that one vibrate, which will make that one vibrate. It's a great spider web of fate, spanning on and on and on.
like, she needs more time if Zarvalk has something.
Yeah, take a moment. Zarvalk, you see the same thing. You see people from your past. You see Yeah, you you know the people in your life, you know the dangers you have faced, you know your loved ones that some of which you have had to leave behind, some of which you have died because of decisions made around them. Is there a thread you would pluck?
Yeah, is there are we able to see people that we know of but haven't been directly in our lives?
Sure.
Yeah.
Or
So I think
as long as they would be considered like an ally, an enemy, or a loved one to you. Someone that you're
yeah,
generally aware of.
yeah, it's gonna work out okay.
Yeah.
Either way. But
Yeah.
so I think he would look for and kind of begin to trace the thread for the Iron Emperor Jar.
Mm. Yeah, got you.
And
You
he
see
would just
him.
kind of he would just kind of run his finger over it for a minute and think about it. And then he would step back for a moment and like refocus. And he would find, and I don't even know if I ever gave this guy a name. I don't think that I did. But he would find the liberated hobgoblin who offered to take Zarvog and his family into the north when Zarvog's parents chose to stay behind and the guy only took Zarvog. He would find that guy in that moment
Mhm.
and he would pluck that thread.
What exactly about it are you plucking?
That it ever happened.
Does this guy ever found you?
Yeah. Yeah, this guy went on about like whatever he did, but just not the Zarvog.
Mm.
The two of them never come into contact.
You pluck the string, and you change fate itself, where you were never found by this individual. Yvain, what is the decision that you come to?
As I look over the tapestry and I look for runs, I look for holes, I look for errors, I look for something that seems off.
You,
And if I,
yeah, just to come to that, I'll tell you what, let's make a definitive roll about it. This is more about perception. You're actively looking and trying to find a mistake visually.
all right, I'm going to astromancy archive that for an extra. All right, so that's 9 plus 9 is 18. 6, so yeah, it's a dirty 20.
You analyze and you analyze and you analyze, and you're trying to not find something to change, but a fundamental flaw in the trial itself and in how it all works. You can, whether it is beyond your comprehension or you simply don't find it, there is no flaw in the function of foresight and the ability to change it that is presented to you. It is flawless, just as fate is. Everyone has a destiny, everyone has a fate, and knowledge of fate provides the ability to change it. And that is what you are presented with in this moment. You look for the loophole. You look for something wrong with the mechanism of divinity itself, and you cannot find it. There is only the lives before you that you can change your own.
And so maybe I failed the test. But
No.
I'm not going to change something just to change it. I'm not. If there was something to examine, something to repair, but this is the result of other people's choices. If I agree with them or don't agree with them, we have free will. If we don't believe in that, why are we here? I'm not going to unmake someone's choice because it might turn out better, even if calamity befalls.
The angel will approach you, and he will, as you hadn't really noticed it, sort of not pluck your thread, but almost present it before you. And you'll be shown the countless times where you've used your power of divination, of stars, of weal and woe, of communing with the gods for greater information, and acted on it. He says, "What's different about what you have done in the past in this? You can't change the fundamental powers of divination, but you have plenty of times, more than anyone in your group, used your powers of foresight and communion to alter fate and save lives for the better." He will put forth the imagery of the most recent conflict in Westrun, where you see Cedric's sister walking through the street, and she makes her way into the temple to pay her faith, and the ground opens as madmen come running out and dragging people into the depths to be tormented and tortured. And it sort of moves along to when you descend within, rescue them all, exit and plug the hole. It says, you, if not granted a vision in that moment, would not have plugged the hole before they could have ever arrived. You would not have prepared yourself for their coming.
Yes, I would have. I was solving a problem. It wasn't capricious. It was need oriented. Does that make sense? So there was a need to keep this individual safe. Under Amon, I would not have just made a deal with an eldritch horror. There were 250,000 people in the entire city of Amon. If you weigh my soul against that, it's easy math. You're asking me to look at a tapestry and say you can change anything you want, but everything that happened was the result of someone else's decision, including the deceit and even the bad ones. I learned from something. So let's say this. Let's say I pluck the string and I don't offend the Raven Queen. There's a string worth plucking. Let's say in that moment of exhaustion in her temple, I realize I'm being an absolute ass. I should be humbled, simply to be humble. I wouldn't have learned why one must tread gently in the land of the dead. I wouldn't have understood the actual harm that I did, right? And certainly I wouldn't have had to walk around with the mark of death on my forehead. That was terrifying. My friend Ember would not have been traumatized. But I would also be here, in front of you, without the knowledge of how very thin the veil can be, how poignant damage can be. A problem to solve, I will solve it. But if you tell me you can just do anything capriciously, I'm disinclined to affect a wild ecosystem with no reason.
Is there not reason?
I apologize if it makes me unworthy.
Not at all.
I understand you're trying to get me to use the thing. I do get that.
I challenge you specifically, Vin, because your friends have such deep faith in you, that you should be the one to bear this vestige. What I present to you here, this trial, it is nothing different than what you wield, except that it is much more exceptional. That it reveals more than what you have ever seen. In the past, you have been revealed, say, a good outcome or a negative outcome. And you've been able to change that outcome. But never has it ever been revealed to you what happened by changing that outcome. This is just a test. But it proves the point that if you all hadn't descended into that hole in Westrun and those people would be harmed, who's to say that your friend Cedric wouldn't have come to the faith of Pelor, or even the Lawbearer, and became Paladin of Vengeance and all the more powerful for it. That a good outcome can't come from the bad, and vice versa. I do not challenge you to force you to use the power, only to understand why this is to you any different than what you have already done.
When I plucked Joriel's thread because she could have killed us all. She could have killed us all and taken the thread. She behaved honorably. And it cost her. It's very unlike her, that's my understanding. I did not see anything that needed me to change. What actually happened was that Ember wished her away. And it was the Raven Queen that first showed me the pattern. And the snarls that Ember's wishing. Now, I don't want you to hear me being like, oh, Ember was off. I need you to understand if I was in the same position that he was in at that time, I would have done the same thing.
The specific circumstances matter very little to me, in all fairness. I understand and you make good justifications. But you must understand this trial is not... It is not one to test your circumstantial abilities. It is one to understand that you know that there are consequences to plucking a string, and that you will. Or you won't. And you have done this already in the past, I see it. You have already plucked the strings. You have seen what was meant to be and defied it. And so, if you aren't willing to do it here, I ask you this. If you were to be granted the vestige, what would you do with it? A vestige that gives you such powerful foresight that might be comparable to this.
I can tell you it's not going to be my first solution to every problem. When you change anything in fate, it affects everything. Again, the Raven Queen took great pains to teach me that. She's the goddess of fate. You've mentioned her. She's the goddess of fate and death. Actually, fate, more willing here. Anytime you do one thing, it absolutely does something else. So we have gotten rid of Joriel, but there is now a new Cadergeist. One we don't know how they will behave. She had to make a choice. It might be one that works for us, might not. We don't know. It's not that you don't pluck a string. Again, that was the right choice. But there is weight. There's weight to the decision.
Of course. There is weight to all decisions. And the secret is this, Yelena. It does not take a diviner to make choices, and for those choices to have consequences. Some unforeseen. Even... You'll look across the web to see Zarvolg's string pluck, then him pluck. He says, Zarvolg does not seem to me a great diviner or a user of magic. And yet, his bolts, I expect, have changed fate. walking outside your door, drawing your sword, or choosing something to change in the past. They all have consequences. And with that, he will just simply gesture, and he will step away, and you may make your final decision.
I stand by my decision. If you want to create a scenario where I have to solve a problem, that's fine. If you're going to show me a tapestry that's seemingly perfect as is, not having to change it just because I can. Because you can do a thing doesn't mean you should.
He just nods quietly, accepts that. Zarbolg, you pluck the string.
Yes. Yeah.
Here's what happens. You are not found. As you run amok in the jungle, you are not found. Because of this, that man died. The one who saved you. While he wasn't busy with you, he heard, perhaps because he received just-in-time notice that support was needed for a nearby raid against one of the local elven tribes, and he hurried over to help. And he lost his life in the encounter. As for you, you struggled to survive in that jungle. Zarvolk. You scraped and clawed for life. You were cornered by monsters on more than one occasion. One you got away with by the skin of your teeth. The second one took your arm as a young boy. The third one was driven off by a number of escaped slaves who had become quite tribal there. And you were raised by them. And as you were raised by them, you began to grow prominence. You led, despite your one arm, you became a warrior. And these elves, these elven slaves, were allies with Singorn. As Singorn is allied with all of their elven cousins in the south. And provided you with a magical arm that allowed you to have two. And finally, you could be more than just a vocal leader of men and able to throw a spear, maybe. Now you were twice as capable. And you led great victories in raids against the Iron Authority. You became quite strong, and you rallied great support against the Iron Authority. And if fate were to halt where you are now, you would not have met this party. You would not have met Yvain. You would have not become a great crossbow expert. You would have not met your dog, Fen. But you would have became a dangerous guerrilla warrior that the Iron Authority whispered of in fear when their raids had to go out. You were brutal, but you were very effective. And that is where you would stand now, had you never been saved. With that, Zarvolg, you are going to gain essentially a boon. You are going to gain the Charm of Divination, which gives you 3 charges of advantage, basically. So it's basically you've got 3 luckies to spend.
Yeah.
They will diminish and go away as they go. But you do see, as you make that pluck, visually speaking, as the vision before it comes to you, do see the pluck of it hitting that string, and then that string, and that string, and then that string, and that string, and hundreds of lives are changed, and that man didn't save any more children, that man didn't stop any more raids, that man didn't do any good, but you changed. And his death changed many lives and ended many who might have been saved, and helped many live who might have died in this era.
Interesting. All right. Well, that's what he was after. Obviously, there are unintended consequences.
He nods, the angel, as it all restates. And he says, I think you both learned something. By playing with fate, there are consequences. And by not playing with fate, there are also consequences. But there is power in restraint, not changing things simply for the sake of it, but also changing things and accepting that there are consequences to any action, no matter how much foresight is granted. So thank you both. I have learned much, and neither of you failed.
How is that possible?
What was that?
How is it possible that I didn't fail? I literally didn't take the test.
There is no failing in restraint. There is one last trial, which you two may face if you both wish to continue.
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well see what it's all about.
Very well. Then I will conduct that for you. First, I must tend to Kira. And we will wrap it up for the night. There. And I will say this. Next session, we will be getting out of this place. He has one, maybe two trials left for Kira, and one trial for the two of you. And then you will be... The vestige will be imparted upon one of you. And with that, the power to leave this place. And all the while, Orcus may have things up his sleeve, watching all of these events transfold. And also you have this new vampire to observe and to decide for yourselves if he, as a representative, might see to it that the vampires are worthy enough to be trusted to walk on the face of Exandria, try and do some good, or it's just too much of a threat, too dangerous to be released from this place, regardless of the angel's compassion. Hope you guys are having fun.
Yep.